I seen it myself. It's all true. It's all true.
Good evening, messenger. You convinced us that you were the last messenger. How many other bastard children do you have?
It's what?
I said Malcolm alleged that some of Elijah's women were underage secretaries, and can you expound on that?
Yeah, well, I guess they were, because they were there. I seen them. I seen them myself. It's all true. It's all true.
Good evening, messenger. You convinced us that you were the last messenger. How many other bastard children do you have?
It's what?
I said Malcolm alleged that some of Elijah's women were underage secretaries, and can you expound on that?
Yeah, well, I guess they were, because they were there. I seen them. I seen them myself. It's all true. It's all true.
Good evening, messenger. You convinced us that you were the last messenger. How many other bastard children do you have?
It's what?
I said Malcolm alleged that some of Elijah's women were underage secretaries, and can you expound on that?
Yeah, well, I guess they were, because they were there. I seen them. I seen them myself. It's all true. It's all true.
Good evening, messenger. You convinced us that you were the last messenger. How many other bastard children do you have?
It's what?
I said Malcolm alleged that some of Elijah's women were underage secretaries, and can you expound on that?
Yeah, well, I guess they were, because they were there. I seen them. I seen them myself. It's all true. It's all true.
Good evening, messenger. You convinced us that you were the last messenger. How many other bastard children do you have?
It's what?
I said Malcolm alleged that some of Elijah's women were underage secretaries, and can you expound on that?
Yeah, well, I guess they were, because they were there. I seen them. I seen them myself. It's all true. It's all true.
Good evening, messenger. You convinced us that you were the last messenger. How many other bastard children do you have?
How many? Let me count the ways. Keno, what it do? Josh, K-Dub. And without further ado, the gentleman, Lincoln Curtis Gerald Hawthorne. Man, Hawthorne. Lincoln Curtis Gerald Hawthorne. I wanted more. Play that 2 times. Play that 2 more times, man. That sounded great. Play that again. Play it again. Yeah, that sounded great, dog. I was like, hold up. I was just getting that was a vibe right there, Lincoln. You got to repeat that. You got to repeat that. That's a whole vibe right there, dog. Lincoln Curtis Gerald Hawthorne, ladies and gentlemen. The shop is officially open. The shop is officially open, and Mom gives him a round of applause. What's up, Mom? How you doing? I guess she's doing good. What's up, Dr. Dre? Hey, I appreciate y'all coming through, man. And Lincoln, man, I appreciate that A and B selection, man. Close the door, man. We in a whole nother stratosphere right now, man. I guess I need to turn the camera too. Hey, what's up, Josh, man? I appreciate y'all, man. Thank you guys for coming through, man. And boxing. What happened in boxing? Oh, the young man, I'm not going to pretend to know how to pronounce his name, but the fighter I was listening to Blue Blood earlier. That fighter that was fighting Morrell is in an induced coma. And we'll just send our thoughts and prayers to him and his team too, and his family. And there's a lot of second guessing when stuff like that happens. And it is what it is, man. And send out a lot of prayers to that team and his family. And an abrupt left turn. I think Morrell is a great. Oh, he did? Kanye, let's talk. Didn't know that. I think David Morrell is a hell of an 8-round fighter. I don't think he's a 12-round fighter yet. I think he's skilled. I think he's gifted. I think he's whatever adjective you want to put on him. I think I would agree with you. I don't think he has the conditioning or the toughness to be a 12-round fighter. I don't think he's ready for the elites. He looks like he's ready, which will excite the fans. He's young. He's 24 years old, they say, and he has a extremely bright future. Extremely bright future. So I'm definitely looking forward to his ascension. I think we've all been a fan of his. I don't think no one has ever questioned his talent, questioned his ability. I think his gas tank only goes to 3/4 right now. I think they may have given him that belt a little too soon. He's that JV champion for the WBA. So I think that he needs some 8-rounder fights. And speaking of 8-round fights, J-Rock fought an 8-rounder, and I didn't even know. I had no idea J-Rock was fighting yesterday. I enjoy watching J-Rock fight. He's a technician, and he was nowhere to be found. I didn't know. I was watching the Alabama game, Hot Rod. I was watching that game. And before that game, I was watching Georgia and Tennessee. So I was out of the loop. I didn't know it was on YouTube or nothing. So, and then Andre Durrell fought too. And I'm like, damn, Yeah, I have his tweet locked and loaded, and I already know Anthony's gonna come in here and defend some bullshit, but you know, that man, and this is J Rock uh response to the world after last night's fight. If someone told me that after winning the unified world titles in 2019 that I would be off a total of 30 something months and wouldn't win another fight until November 22, I call them a son of a whatever. We plan, but Allah, I don't know what SWT stands for. SWT plans, his plans are much better than mine. Um, so obviously he's not happy. What's up, Ernie? Obviously he's not. I had an Uncle Ernie, man, that I absolutely loved. And yeah, shout out to J Rock. I presume he looked good. He won every round, I heard. And I saw Malik Scott post. Shout out to Malik Scott, man. He's definitely growing in terms of Malik Scott is gonna be a top trainer, you know what I mean? And he understands social media too, so that'll be good for him. What else? What else? What else? Andre Darrell. I haven't seen Andre Darrell fight in a long time, so I was really interested in seeing Andre Darrell fight, and I missed it. And it's different. It's different. You can't go back and watch a shutout, man. I don't want to see a fight 10 rounds or nothing, 8 rounds or nothing. So I'm not gonna go back and watch it, because I think that's just a waste of life. Right now, as it wasn't, but live, I would have enjoyed it live, So shout out to those guys keeping their careers going. But what they gonna do with J Rock, man? J Rock is pretty boisterous. I don't know if y'all heard him. Have y'all heard J Rock? No, y'all haven't heard him. Do y'all need to hear him? Okay, y'all need to hear him.
Who do you want to fight? Anybody? You can fight anyone. Honestly, right now, I just want to get busy. Okay. Active, man. That's the But you look skinny. We should get back in the ring like sometime.
Hey, J Rock need to thank me because Al Heyman heard me complaining and got him a fight. Yeah, I heard. Yeah, I definitely heard, man. We got to keep on sending prayers, and it's just sad, man. He didn't. That last punch, man. Ugh, that last punch really did the job, and it's awful. It's really, really bad. Oh, that's definitely a flag. No flag. Yeah. So keep your thoughts and prayers with that, man. What else went on in boxing? Who was the co-main event of that card? I was watching the USC game. So I was watching USC, UCLA. Who was the co-main event, guys? Because I would literally stop watching it. Fuck, I don't remember who was the co-main event. Who was the co-main event last night? Shit, I don't even know, dog. Dude, that card was so unmemorable, But a fight that was announced. Before we get into the main subject, the fight that was announced was Frank Martin and Ali. Mendoza and Rosario. Oh, that was a cheap labor fight for sure. That was a cheap labor fight. Yeah. So that means Samson was involved on that card. That means Samson and Louis DeCoupis was involved. Jason Rosario, the guy who beat J-Rock. I wonder what that conversation was like. They both in the same position. You know what I mean? Actually, Jason Rosario's in a better position. He was a co-main event, and J-Rock was on the YouTube. He was on a YouTube undercard. He wasn't even a YouTube main event. God, I don't even want to know how much he made last night. Shit, I don't even want to know how much he made last night. Man, listen, I wish Al would offer me 30, 40, $50,000 to fight. Hell fucking no. Nah, not me. I ain't doing it. But anyways, they were Frank Martin versus Ali. And if I am Frank Martin, you got to finish every round. We saw what happened to Mikhail Fox when he fought the hometown fighter. he literally dominated that fight, and his career is basically over now. You know, he lost the Mean Machine. He'll do some local shows in Maryland and maybe get one more crack at it. But he's an older gentleman, and the Fox brothers got done in by PBC, but it's half their fault too because they agreed to the fights. So I'm not going to sit here and say it's all Al Heyman and PBC and whatever. But I will say the WBA, Louis DeCoupas, and PBC really did a job on Mikhail Fox last August. What else? So Frank Martin, Tim Beware, you're not the home team. But Errol Spence will be there. So December 16th will probably be the first Errol Spence interview we get by somebody down there in Minneapolis. So that'll be cool. Terrence Crawford tickets go on sale tomorrow. Matter of fact, I gotta ask Dre. Let me, because I really want to go see Malcolm X. Let me I gotta see Dre's schedule for December. I don't know her schedule for December. But yeah, man, I think it's I'm really interested because I want to see. I'm not really emotional like 90% of YouTube. Fuck Terrence Crawford. I'm not really emotional. I want to see the WBO rankings. That's what I want to see. I want to see the WBO rankings. WBO welterweight rankings. Let's look at them. So we can just let's see. Because the topic that our topic tonight is definitely going to they got a junior heavyweight champion? What the fuck? I never even heard of that shit before. They got junior heavyweights? I'm confused. Man, I'm not even gonna pretend I know what the fuck that means. Why can't I find? I don't even know what linked. 1 second. Oh, current rankings. Okay, I got it. Welterweight. All right, let's go welterweight. All right, let's go welterweight division. Share screen. Because let's put this in order. I did see someone. Oh, that's the wrong one. I did see someone, but I really, really want to investigate this pragmatically instead of like everyone's emotional about. I don't know why people so fucking emotional about this shit. The answers is right in front of us. All right. Number 1 is Virgil Ortiz. Could have Virgil Ortiz have gotten that fight ranked number 1? Nah. They're not ready to get off Virgil Ortiz, especially coming off of not one fight. You know, I don't think so. Jerron Ennis, that's definitely not happening. No, if Showtime don't have the money for Terrence Crawford, Errol Spence, I know they ain't got the money for him. Keith Thurman is interesting. Would Al Heyman give him off? I think he may be still negotiating with Earl Spence. You know what I mean? Maybe they'll do a catch weight or something or a fight at 54. I don't know. Conor Benn had a fight. Cody Crawley could be interesting. So honestly, if we pragmatically go through these rankings, the only 2 fights is Cody Crawley and David Avanesian, and then Alexis Rocha. I'm just keeping it a buck. I don't know if Cody Crawley is signed to PBC. I know he's won 3 or 4 fights in a row. But there's only there's only two guys he could have fought: Cody Crowley and David Evanesian. Al Heyman doesn't give up his fighters, and Al Heyman would not give up Keith Thurman. Not at all. Not right now. I don't think so. But I'm. What's up, Phantom Bro? Hopefully you're well, man. I got Frank Martin winning that fight. I think Frank Martin is better. I got Frank Martin in a tough fight early. He's the first time he's had a main event of this magnitude. I wonder how he's doing. He looks like he's in shape already. I saw him on a treadmill today, and I'm excited for him, man. And I'm naturally going to root for him because he's out of Earl Spence camp. So I'll naturally root for that young man. And he was on our show during COVID, so I root for him. And I genuinely want him to do well. But Cody Crowley, I'm interested in this because Terrence Crawford tweeted this, and now I'm interested in the actual answer. Let's see, when was the last time Cody Crowley fought? Cody Crowley is a tough little sucker too, man. You know, he's a kickboxer too, right? Or something like that. Am I wrong? Or something like that? Yeah, he just retired Josecito Lopez. That's the big fight. That's not really a big fight, but he retired Josecito Lopez on Earl Spence undercard. And then he fought, man, I'm not even gonna pretend that I know his name, but he's pretty active. So I don't know if he's signed to PBC or not. But Cody, in my opinion, and this not even just an opinion. Yeah, the rankings are trash. Oh, he's working, Fred. What's up, Jordan? I'm rooting for that kid, man. He looks in great shape. He really does. Earl looks in good shape too. I saw him doing the meme with his girl, so I'm really excited about that as well. But yeah, there's only two fighters he could have fought: Cody Crowley and David Evanesian. If Jerron Ennis ain't had a fight since May on Jamel Charlo's undercard, there's no way in hell they got money for a Terrence Crawford fight. I'm just keeping it a buck. If they ain't got money for Earl Spence, they ain't got money for Keith Thurman. If they ain't got money for Earl Spence, they ain't got money for Jerron Ennis versus Terrence Crawford. So you can. So now it is what it is, man. He's the sixth best fighter in the world according to the WBO. That's the gift and the curse of having 4 belts, y'all. That's the gift and the curse of having 4 belts. You know what I'm saying? David Evanesian, man. You know what I mean? Oh, man. You know. Boots versus Bud is a hell of a fight, man. Boots ain't never went 12 rounds, man. How many rounds has Boots ever gone? 5? 4? I'm just keeping it a buck, man. Y'all saw David Morrell slow down. Don't act like y'all ain't see David Morrell slow down. So don't be acting all funny now and shit. That motherfucker slowed down. That motherfucker slowed down, man. So I mean, potato, man. Feel free to have your opinion, but those top 4 guys, he can't get those fights. It's no way. You know, and especially not being promoted. You understand what I'm saying? He's not on their promotional side. I know Crawley's a PBC fighter, but is he signed to PBC? I don't know if he is or isn't. I know he fights on their card. Let me see if he fought his whole career. Nah. No, only the last 3 fights he's been fighting on PBC because he's fought in Peterborough, Tijuana, Bellevue, Peterborough. Nah, he's just fought on PBC cards the last 3 fights, which is Josecito Lopez, like on Earl Spence undercard, Kamuko, whatever, at the Dignity Health Center, and Josh Torres at the Microsoft Theater. I don't remember that card. When was that? 9/6/20. Oh, that was Sean. That was Sean Porter's card when he fought the what's that white boy name? Adderall, Morel? I don't know. Whatever. Who gives a flying fuck? I remember that card. I didn't watch it. The Lakers were in the playoffs, I think, or something like that. But yeah. But he was off for a year and a half before he fought again. So all these motherfuckers are off. Earl and the earliest Earl can fight. I checked the schedule. The earliest Earl can fight is the week after the Super Bowl. So whatever date that is, you know. I got Better Beat man. I don't think no one can beat Better Beat Crawley's not PBC. Okay, so maybe he could have fought. Maybe he could have fought Terrence Crawford. Those are the only two that I really can see that had a chance at fighting the kid. You know what I mean? And I'm just being as pragmatic as I can be. I'm trying to be as non-emotional. Y'all know me and Bud don't fuck with each other, but I don't want to get in this emotional tirade and shit. You know what I mean? With motherfuckers going back and forth and back. You know, it is what it is. Everyone else is tied up. Because if you want Jerron Ennis to fight Terrence Crawford, then you should be demanding Jerron Ennis versus Keith Thurman. See what I'm saying? So send the contract, boy. Send the contract, boy. And then we had Bivol and what's the other guy's name? He won fairly easy. I saw the scorecards. He won fairly easy. So who's fighter of the year? Is it, you got three options. Carissa Shields. No, you got four options, really. You think Bivol beating Better Beat that? Ooh, shit. Oh, man, that shit. Nah, that motherfucker a monster, man. Let's see. You had you got Alicia Bumgardner. What else? Carissa Shields, David Bivol, and Devin Haney. Jamal only fought once this year. PBC fighters can't get fighter of the year. They don't qualify. But those are the four fighters to get fighter of the year. Do they do women's fighter of the year or just one? Charlo fighter of the year? Hell no. That motherfucker ain't no fighter of the year. Maybe in Houston. You know what I mean? Shit, that's it. Maybe he's the Texas fighter of the year. Between him and Earl Spence and Jamal. Jamal ain't fought. Jamel got all the belts. And Earl fought what's the guy's name? Ugas. So he's the Texas fighter of the year. We'll give him credit. Shit, Ronda Rousey, y'all don't see, man. See, y'all don't know history. Ronda Rousey won fighter of the year. So that's why I'm saying you got. What mean? Don't group them. ESPN groups them. So you got Ronda Rousey won it over Floyd Mayweather that year. If y'all don't remember, so those are the four options. He had to dig and go get that shit, man. But he only fought once. The motherfucker, man. Jamel is every fighter who's fought once that they usually get forgotten about if they're not a top 10 fighter. You know, Earl fought once, but he's a top 10 fighter. Tank fought once, he's a top 10 fighter. Wilder fought once, he's a top 10 fighter. That's a good play. If you're not a top 10 fighter, people forget about you. That's not UFC. Yeah, man. Google, man. Do Google, L. That'll help. Man, we could talk about this for a minute before we get into the topic. Not a problem. We could talk about the topic the second hour. But feel free to holler at me, man, and let me know what you guys think. But I have man. Damn, it's so tight this year. Bivol beat Canelo and he beat Ramirez. That's his name. And Ramirez is a hell of a fighter, man. I remember covering him when he was on ESPN. I mean, excuse me, Top Rank. He's a hell of a fighter, man. Man, Bivol's a hell of a, and he beat fuck. Yeah, go ahead, Al. Go ahead, Al.
Man, Devin Haney, man, fight of the year, hands down. My vote go in for Devin Haney, man. Ain't nobody done what he's done, even remotely close. Bivol, I would give Bivol second, a close second, but Devin Haney, he's way ahead of the game, man. What he did, man. He went to a new promotion company, took far less money, traveled to the man hometown on a 2-fight deal, and pretty much won 24 rounds.
Right.
Like, how can you even dispute? And he's the only undisputed champion right now, if I'm not mistaken.
Jamel and Carissa.
Hands down. I don't, me personally, I don't group women's sports with men. There ain't no comparison really. Clarissa Shields, she's done a lot for the sport as far as with the women, but I'm gonna be honest, I don't like women boxing, period. I don't like women fight combat sports, but I'm not gonna reduce her accomplishments because I believe she's a great fighter. She's a great figure for the sport, and she's doing a lot of great things, and I wish her well. But I personally just don't like women combat sports. And even still, I don't believe that she's done anything remotely close to what Haney has done.
I mean, that's tough, man. I can see Devin Haney winning. He's on ESPN. We'll do a
I can
fight.
see him clearly winning.
I don't see clearly. I don't think clearly because it's tight. It's tight this year.
I don't know. That's like if you okay, that's like if you got a guy who wins in basketball, he wins the MVP, his team wins the championship, and he has the highest points per game in the NBA. You would clearly say he's probably the best athlete. He's probably athlete of the year.
Mm-hmm.
So this man that won all the belts, he's undisputed. Like, who's undisputed in the game right now? This dude swept. He's got all the belts. Like, I don't get it. I don't even see how this is even an argument.
Oh man, I think it's a heavy argument because Bivol was a heavy underdog, and
But that he wasn't really a heavy underdog though. At all. He was a favorite in my eyes.
Let me finish my point.
Go ahead.
All right. I think that obviously he was an underdog, and he made Canelo look ordinary. Canelo hasn't looked ordinary since Floyd Mayweather. He's the pound for pound best fighter in the world up until that point. And then he went to another country. Same thing you're saying about Devin Haney is he went to another country and he beat the third best fighter in his division. I mean, he's up there, top 3, and by what I saw, by what I heard, he made him look ordinary. And you could say the same thing about him. He won 20 of 24 rounds, so it's I think you can argue either way. It depends on what you value. Do you value the all the belts, or do you value where the person is at in the actual sport? You get what I'm saying? Like Canelo is the best fighter in the world at the time that he beat him. So
yeah, but like I said, and you know this personally, as much as I love Canelo, I didn't have Canelo beating Bivol at all. You know that. So I don't give a fuck what the odds said. There was bullshit. He wasn't gonna beat Canelo. I mean, Canelo wasn't gonna beat him.
Appreciate you, Big Belly. But you're the 5%, you're the 5% of the betting public, like you're the small. So according to boxing and boxing writers, Bivol was the underdog. He was just an ordinary.
Because it's biased, just like,
Sure.
They got agendas, they got directions that they want to take the sport in, and they trying to, swing things in one direction. And,
Sure.
I look past all that shit. I can see it for what it is. I'm going to be honest with you, like I always say. If Sims was focused, I told Sims, you could beat Canelo, man. Canelo is good. He's a great fighter, but you can see where he can get beat. Like, and when they made the fight, I said he's not beating Bivol because I seen Bivol with my eyes, and I knew that this dude don't got no chance in hell. Mm-hmm. But I got Devin Haney though, man. Bivol's a close. He's far above the rest of the field, but what Haney did was just so impressive, man. Being so young, just taking all the risk. Like, the dude took all the risk, and that's unheard of today, especially by young cats. So he's kind of like a pioneer of his generation, cut from a whole different cloth. And it shows a lot about his character, that he believed in himself. And when he went over there and he pitched the first shutout, I said, man, this boy about to ascend to some greater heights, because that does so much for you, for your confidence, and it gives you a surety that you are who you think you are.
Right.
So we seen that. He made it even more impressive victory the second time around. So right now he's pretty much king of 135 and probably a favorite in every fight, because he's ascending, like he hasn't even plateaued yet. So he's got the most momentum of anybody in the 135-pound division. And he's got everything you would want in a fighter, man.
Yeah. He definitely has everything you want in a fighter. I definitely would agree. What I believe, based off of what you said and what I was thinking, is Mr. Haney is the manager of the year. I would say that's a clear cut, because
you said Mr. Haney is what?
The manager of the year. He's Devin's manager. So I think they have an executive of the year or manager of the year. I think
Haney, you gotta give Devin Haney just as much credit though.
I think no. I mean those are two different things. Manager and fighter. I think that stems for more so positioning, seizing an opportunity, creating an opportunity, stuff like that. Go ahead, Al.
Yeah. Hopefully the brother get it, man. I'm rooting for him, man. But it's evident the game is he's lacking support where it's needed at, because it's evident that the game really don't support him that much, because of his faith. But two, he's black, he's young, and he got his father in his corner. It's a lot of things, man. The mainstream has a bias, man, and he's not favored in that bias. You can just see it, man. But he's proven all the doubters wrong, though. And for that, I give him ultimate credit. And I place him on a pedestal because he deserved to be there. He's positioned himself and he's earned the right to be in such a position, man. Him and his father. I'm highly impressed. I'm not surprised though. I've enjoyed seeing them accomplish what they've accomplished because it's been quite the journey, and it's just good watching it, man. They make it look good, and them the type of cats I can root for every single day of the week.
Go ahead, Jerry.
What's up, fellas? How you guys doing?
Hey, we good.
Jerry.
Yeah, man, that was some good fights on last night. Let me just piggyback on what y'all are saying there. If I had to pick between Haney and Bivol, to me it would be Bivol, simply because he beat a top 5 pound for pound fighter, and then he beat a fighter that was, like you said, Fred, top 3 in his division. Haney, while he won the undisputed title, he fought the same guy twice. And I know for a fact that Kambosos was not anywhere on the pound for pound list. And I don't even believe he was top 3 in the division. So I don't look to belittle Haney's accomplishment. However, I will say I'm getting a little tired of hearing that he went against all odds. He didn't go against all odds. He fought overseas. Fighters do that all the time. Tyson Fury came here and fought the dangerous puncher in the division 3 times, and not one time did anybody say, "Oh, he went against all odds and he traveled across the ocean," which he did, just like Haney did. He deserves credit for that, but it's, in my estimation, it's being entirely overcredited, especially with a statement like "against all odds." It wasn't against all odds. Devin Haney was the odds-on heavy favorite to win both of those fights. He traveled, that's understood, but fighters travel here to the United States all the time, and it doesn't even get a mention. So if I had to pick between Bivol and those two, I would pick Bivol for that reason. I did, however, Fred, I agree that when Bivol fought Canelo was the favorite. He was the betting favorite in that fight. And unlike Kyle, I thought Canelo was going to beat Bivol. Not because Bivol's not good, but, frankly, he hadn't had that many fights. He really hadn't fought a high level of competition. I mean, he went the distance with Joe Smith. Okay, I've seen that fight. Bivol, he always looks pretty good. I don't think a lot of people really didn't realize how good this cat really is. But he's showing us now how good he is. And so credit to him, for that. But I didn't think that he would beat Canelo, but he did, and he won decisively. Now, I do also believe that Canelo is going to fight him again. A lot of people saying Canelo is not going to fight him again, but I think he will. Now, can he beat him? That you'd have to make Bivol a heavy favorite in that fight due to their first fight. But I do think he will fight him again. And then lastly, the PBC card, what's his name? Morrell. Man, he looked good, man. I hadn't seen him before. I heard about him, and I heard you guys talk about him. But that guy is very athletic and just a solid fighter. That was the super middleweight they fought.
Yeah, 68.
Yeah, man, he's impressive, especially with 7 fights. I mean, they put him in tough, and I hear the guy, his opponent, is in bad shape right now. So prayers for him. But they put him in a fight where I don't think they thought he would lose that fight, but they matched him tough. That Russian guy is a tough guy, a serious competitor, and that's great movement for a young fighter like Morrell, because you've seen with the Puerto Rican super middleweight that's the big puncher, or was the big puncher, Berlinga. They matched him real soft, and look what happened when they tried to step him up. So this guy, they stepped him up early, and he came through with shining colors, and he looks to be the goods. I wouldn't put him in against Benavidez right now. I'd give him maybe 3 more fights, because even at that point, he's only going to have 10 or 11 pro fights. So that's still pretty early, but I'd give him a couple more fights, then put him in with the big guys.
Go ahead, Al.
No, that's a good assessment. I agree with Jerry. A lot of what he's saying. I see where he's coming from, and I'm a true real fan of Bivol, you know, like I've always said, since I first seen him, you know, and especially, you know, I was in camp with him for about a month. I seen everything he had to offer, you know, I seen him live, you know, I seen his skill set early on. I said, man, this dude is very impressive. You know, I was impressed with him from the gate, man, and I just give Haney the edge, man, when it comes to the accomplishment just for this year, you know. But I wouldn't be surprised if he got it, and if he won it, you know, I would be just as happy for him. You know, I'm not in opposition like, oh, he can't win it. You know, he's right there. You know, but and I think he can beat Better Biev. I believe that. People think Better Biev, you know, because he's the monster, he's the big knockout. But skill wise, Biv was on a whole nother level, skill wise. Man, the dude is extremely skilled. Like, and out of all those Russians and Kazakhstan, Uzbekistan, you know, I don't know all the names, but out of that little region, I've never seen nobody as skilled as Bivol. From that, you know, I guess the Eastern Bloc of Europe, I haven't seen anyone as skilled as Bivol. So, you know, I actually like his trainer, man. His trainer kind of remind me of what was the Karate Kid trainer name?
Mr. Miyagi.
Huh? Yeah, Mr. Miyagi. His trainer remind me of Mr. Miyagi, man. Real smart dude, man. You know, I was actually surprised at watching him coach Bivol, and you know, they training regimes. The dude, very smart, and he expressed a high level of admiration for American fighters and like the black style. Like, that's another thing I was kind of surprised about the trainer, you know, because you know they said they liked the black style of fighting. That's why Bivol is, you know, fights the way he fights. So I was kind of it kind of surprised me that they paid that much attention to black fighters, you know. So and he gave credit to that type of style of fighting, you know. Hey, you know the crazy thing too, man. I was in Memphis, Tennessee, man, and I seen this cat walking out the truck out the store, and I just assessed. I just looked at him like I look at anybody else, you know, and I assess how a person move, and I looked at him. I said, "Hey, man, you was a fighter, huh?" He said, "Yeah, man." And I'm like, "Where you used to fight?" He said, "I used to fight with Joel Diaz. That's my trainer." The dude's name is his name is Bob Beerzon Momanov. He's actually this guy, the guy that's in a coma. That's one of his country stablemates. Cause he told me, he said, my buddy fight tonight. He fights what's the guy name that he fought?
Morale.
Morel. He said, yeah, he fights Morel, and he showed me. I said, yeah. I said, yeah, I know he. And so it was crazy that happened, because I was just looking on Instagram and I see that the dude was in a bad coma, man. And I said, damn, man, I was just talking to his buddy, man, and damn, that's crazy, man. I hope that dude, you know, pulls through and fights that off, man, and comes out on a good end, man, because that's unfortunate.
Very.
Did y'all see that fight, the Morel fight?
Mm-hmm. I did.
I didn't get a chance to look at it.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Well, you know, before that card, Showtime aired the Jake Paul fight, and you know the one brother that comes on the show a lot, Kyle, I think is his name. I've seen Kyle on another show. He had a debate. He was saying that Jake or Logan, I guess it's Jake Paul, is the face of boxing, and he had a debate, a long debate with this guy. It was like the host was moderating it, and they would, go on and on presenting their points. Kyle ultimately lost the debate, but yeah, and I tell you from where he was coming from, because what he was saying was this: Jake Paul is the face of boxing, and I'm thinking, well, okay, well, hold on now, because Jake Paul, first off, he doesn't have any world title, not even a regional title. He's not ranked by any sanctioning body nowhere, and he's never even fought a boxer. How the fuck can he be the face of boxing? But I tell you, Kyle made very compelling arguments, and centrally they were around, oftentimes the face of boxing might not be the best fighter in boxing, but the most popular. Now, I watched that Jake Paul fight against Silva, and the first thing I noticed, man, he had a massive crowd. He had like 16,000 people in there. Fucking place was packed. And one thing I've noticed about this guy, because I've watched his fights, on YouTube after the fact, is, man, this fucking guy takes himself seriously with this boxing shit. I mean, every time I see him, he gets a little bit better. And it's not like he's really started out terribly bad. I mean, of course, if you compare him to a high-level pro, of course, he's not that, and he certainly wasn't that when he started, but he's taken himself real seriously. And I noticed in the Woodley fights, Woodley's a pretty bad dude, man. Not a boxer, but still a pretty bad dude. And he caught Paul with fucking punches that I've seen professional boxers quit taking less punches than what he took. This kid, Jake Paul, I don't hate on him, man. I think he's good for boxing in a backhanded kind of way. He's bringing attention to a sport that badly needs attention, and I don't really think he's embarrassing himself. Now, if you put him in with a high-level pro, will he get beat? Yeah, but you could say that about any boxer. Canelo was put in with a guy that was better than him, and Bivol, and he got beat. And Canelo was a pound-for-pound guy and a high-level pro himself. So obviously, matchmaking plays into it. But I gotta say, man, this guy, he can fight and he can punch. He's got pretty good stamina, and he gets a little bit better each time. Where it's going to wind up for him, I don't know. After the fight, he called out Canelo. Now, I'm not going to get out overboard. I think Canelo would just probably whoop the shit out of him, but he probably, looking at the payday there. But I guess bottom line, what I'm saying is I don't hate this guy, man. I don't think he's quite the poser that people initially thought.
I respect the fact that he's taking the sport serious enough to learn, and he's positioned himself strategically to be able to garner the fans, garner the type of attention to make the type of money that he want to make. That's what I give him credit for, But as far as being a fighter, I know guys 17, 18-year-old right now in the amateurs to beat the shit out of him. And that's just facts. He can't fight C-level fighters right now. He'll get the shit beat out of him. He is in shape, and he does continue to get better, He's taking the sport serious. I give him that. He has a commitment and a dedication and a discipline that you need to excel in this sport and get better, and that's what he's doing. I give him credit for that, but as far as being anything close to a good fighter or anything close to what you would want to see in a fighter, he's far off. Like I said,
that's some good stuff. But I seen an interview with Chad Dawson. I'm sure you remember the Chad Dawson, the light heavyweight, and I guess that's who he was sparring with, Chad Dawson. And Chad, I mean, he's not the fighter he once was. I can't imagine he could be. But he said he's sparring with him, and he said, man, if this guy can hang with me, folks ought to take him a little bit serious. Now, given the fact Chad is, he's older and his time has come and went, but still, I mean, he's talking about a guy that former two-time champion and was a high-level pro. Chad Dawson was a very highly touted fighter for a while there until he cut weight and ran into Andre Ward. But I don't know, man. He didn't look like he was lying when he said that. Nah, you got to take into consideration the guy is paying him. It is his sparring partner, so
Right.
he's probably going to
That's exactly what it was, man. It wasn't nothing. No truth.
But
You know,
also
no.
with that, you got to consider that Chad Dawson's personal reputation and liabilities on the line when he states something like that. So, so it's a little bit of both, I think.
Enough money to make them all talk with a double tongue, man.
What I'm interested to see is for this guy Jake to fight a real boxer. Uh, now, I wouldn't suggest he's going to beat any high level pros, but I could see him competing with some mid level pros, and I'll tell you why. Because I mean, obviously, you guys watch fights like I do. I've seen several mid level pros that don't even look as skillful as what I see him look. That don't even, have styles that are like, where the fuck did this guy learn how to fight? A lot of times those fighters, they lack the skill, but they make it up with toughness, right? They win in they're fighting and competing, win or lose, based on the fact that they're very tough, or maybe they got lots of endurance and they can kind of just throw a lot of punches, even though the technique is bad. So, my hope for him is that at some point they will put him in there in a matchup like that. But I think the reality is he's probably going to be able to lure one of these top level pros at some point to fight him, because the money might be that good. And that's probably my biggest intrigue with him, is the way he's generating attention. And if I had a fighter, and I would try to find out, try to look into just exactly what he's doing to generate the attention that he's getting, because that would be helpful for everybody in the sport, all the fighters. Maybe he's just an anomaly. I'm not sure, but I was shocked to see that crowd in there like that. Silva, for his what I could say about him, man, for a 47-year-old dude, wow, I mean, he's still athletic. I mean, tough guy, but you could clearly see the difference where the young, quick twitch muscles were in play over, the whole that, UFC legend that he is, and all around tough guy. And I mean, if they were probably fighting a UFC fight, he would have destroyed Jake Paul and choked his ass out in, 60 seconds or less. But in that boxing ring, it kind of looked like, like an old man. I mean, he's 40. I think he said he's 47 years old. But he put up a gallant effort. The fight went the distance. It was one knockdown there towards the end. Jake Paul scored a knockdown. But Silva, I'm sure he probably got a good payday. But that's all I wanted to say. I know Kyle is a big fan of, or he goes to bat for this Paul guy all the time as being the face of boxing. I'm still not sure about that, but he makes a compelling argument.
I think that he is a byproduct of social media and the state of boxing. And he's taking complete, I mean, it's an opportunity. Why not? And it's he's gonna ride this wave until he get a loss. You know what I'm saying? And when he gets that loss, he'll ride off into the sunset with his millions and create another life hack. He's created this life hack. He entertained us all during COVID, and now that COVID has ended, he's he's do 200,000 to 300,000 pay-per-view buys. So it's it is what it is, but it is what it is. Hey, Jared, did you get a chance to see what's going on with Kyrie Irving?
Me?
Yeah.
You got to, man. No, sir.
Oh, you don't know what's going on with Kyrie Irving?
No.
Oh, okay.
But I'm sure I probably have an opinion on it if you told me. If you told me what's going on.
Elle, what's your take on Kyrie Irving?
I initially was impressed and I supported him, still do. he's been under a lot of scrutiny. He's been under a lot of pressure. You know, his livelihood is on the line. His career, probably his sanity. You know, he's emotionally, distraught, and it's really senseless what he's going through, man. And not to have the support of some of these prominent figures who are totally going all the way against the grain, instead of just shutting the fuck up if you don't have nothing good to say. How the hell you gonna basically like talk bad about the man for exercising his free will and his right to speech, you know what I mean? And his right to his opinion. Like, you infringing upon this man's rights. Like, and then trying to badmouth him for just exercising his natural right. Like, I'm highly disappointed in Shaq, Charles Barkley, LeBron James. I hope all them niggas hear me say this. I'm extremely disappointed in all them niggas. They should have just shut the fuck up and not say nothing at all. If you scared, just shut the fuck up. Because you ain't doing nothing to harm yourself, and you ain't doing nothing to get in this man's way. You get what I'm saying? Or try to bash him, because he ain't did nothing wrong. Like, but these niggas have been told, hey, say this. They got handlers. They got puppeteers. They've been specifically told, hey, I want you to speak out against this. Because them niggas didn't have to say a damn thing. If they didn't agree with it, or if they were scared of having that kind of backlash, just shut the fuck up and get out the way. Like, if you ain't gonna encourage me, don't try to tear me down. Like, if they really had a problem, why they didn't go after Jeff Bezos? Why didn't they go after Jeff Bezos? You know where that movie is platformed on, right? It's on Amazon. Why you ain't going after Jeff Bezos? Like, he the one that's giving it the biggest airplay and the biggest he the biggest sponsor.
What I see here,
he got it on the biggest platform in the world.
He posted a link to an anti-Semitic film. Is that the gist of it?
I mean, it's a documentary that's on Amazon.
Well, if you don't mind, and I'll freely admit, I know little. I just Googled it to see what it was, and It says he tweeted a link to an anti-Semitic film, like he suspended its relationship. What I would say about that, and I try to be consistent with this, is I don't promote any anti-Semitism, nowhere, no matter where it comes from. I think it's divisive behavior. Now, many can point to, well, this or that, what about this or that, and what aboutisms. But to me, personal accountability, black folks don't want white people being anti-Semitic, and that's very understood and rational and true. Then it should be that way for everybody. Nobody should be promoting anything anti-Semitic against anybody. Now, is it a freedom of speech thing? Sure, it is. We have the right to do that if we want to, but we don't have the right to avoid the repercussions of doing something like that. Whether you're promoting it by, somebody else's anti-Semitic remarks, or they're your own, you got the right to do it and the right to say it, but you're also going to come with some repercussions. I would hope that we evolve to a point that we don't have to make these distinctions and categorisms about races and lump people together. And it seemed to me, that at the very core of racist behavior is that exactly categorizing people and stereotyping people as a group. And so I'm not for that, no matter where it comes from. And these athletes, when they do it, they're going to lose sponsors because of it.
Mr. Hill, you got a response to it?
I'm gonna respond and say that it's not racism. What he talking about is bigotry, because racism is deeper than that. You know, black people can't be racist. We don't have institutions. We don't control society like that. We could be bigots towards people, but it just seems like if you speak on a certain group, that's just automatically called being anti-Semitic, and it's really kind of crazy and just alarming that everybody coming for Kyrie. He's a well-spoken young man, and it's just like, man, look, LeBron let me down, man, but I'm from Cleveland, man. It's nothing new, man. He did it with Tamir Rice. You know what I'm saying? He, at the end of the day, you know, we look up to these athletes, but they really just employees, and, you know, the bag more than your manhood.
Right. Mr. Henderson?
Well, I think the Kyrie, shout out to Fred and the panel, Nine Wives, you know what I'm saying? Go grab that.
Facts.
I think the Kyrie situation is a little more complex than it's a little more complex. On one hand, I agree with L, but on the other hand, L, and you might not know, Kyrie apologized for it. So,
oh yeah, I know.
So the one thing is, when you have athletes like Colin Kaepernick who riding this thing till the wheels fall, and then you got before him Jim Brown and Muhammad Ali, they were unapologetic about what they had to say. You know what I'm saying? So we can support those athletes because they didn't crumble under the pressure. You know what I'm saying? Now, the other thing about why I say it's multi-layered is Kyrie didn't say anything. He posted something that was trying to, as I understand, was trying to connect the continent of Africa to the original Jews. That's from what I understand, that's what the documentary is about. Now, it did have some things about the Holocaust and all that, but that might not have been the reason he posted it, right? But it was a part of it, and I feel like that's what they held on to and used to excoriate him. So that's how I feel about it. I wish he would have stood 10 toes. But LeBron, I ain't surprised by LeBron either, to be honest. I mean, it's a shame that there ain't nobody backing him though. But Fred, we seen this when the Clippers owner had that shit to say, and them boys went on that court and still laced up. You know what I'm saying? There ain't no unity.
Right. Exactly. I was well aware of Kyrie apologizing, and you know, of course, I would have liked to see him, you know, like you say, stand on his square, you know, fight with his back against the wall. But I understand the kind of pressure he was under, man, and he probably said, "Fuck it, man. These niggas ain't supporting me, man. What am I gonna put my neck on the line for? And these niggas ain't even supporting me." Like, so I understand how he probably just said, "Fuck it, man. Just let me give these people what they want." Do I agree with it? No, I understand it though, you know, and I can see his genuine you know, stance and his emotion upon it, you know, because he's been speaking out and talking about this kind of stuff for a minute, man, and just freely expressing himself, and not even, a lot of people call it going against the grain, but I don't call it going against the grain. I just call it standing on the grounds of truth, man, and you know, Kyrie been doing that, man. I don't knock the brother, man. This is a power thing, man. This is about power, man. I personally feel like London Bridge is falling down, you know, and they know it, you know. So at this point, this establishment that we living under, at all costs, or at any sign of any threat, of any impending threat from anybody, especially blacks, they gonna shoot that shit all the way down. So it's a power thing, man. It's a power thing for sure, man. They trying to keep this power structure right where it's at.
When I look at it in its totality, I don't even want to blame anybody else. When I look at it, I see black people as their own problem. Because this is a repetitive. It's not like it's new. It's not like this is something that is out of the ordinary. And because of that, I genuinely believe that we have to create our own. We have to create. America gives us an opportunity to actually do that. And I don't think systemic racism is a part of this as it is today. Like if this was a standalone, you can argue the racism, yeah. But when you got professional athletes signing contracts, they know that they have to adhere and be less than. I just would hope that this would inspire, instead of men like LeBron James and who else, Floyd Mayweather, these guys that have absolute amount of money, build their own.
I'm gonna say this, Fred. Floyd held Kyrie down.
Yeah, I know. I'm gonna play that in a bit. But I think enough is enough. Like, why do we continuously want people to feed us? Every day we want people to feed us, and then we get on our soapbox and then cry racism. How do we defeat racism? Take power back. Right. And it's really easier than what we really making it out to be.
Oh, Fred.
It's simple. If we choose power over profit, it's easier.
But it's deeper than rap. You got to think about black people, what we identify ourselves with. Who does our identity? Who profits off our identity?
That's not a. You're changing the subject.
Yeah, Fred.
I'm not changing the subject. This is how deep it is. Everything that identify with black people, it doesn't serve black people. Having a nice foreign car, having the nice designer clothes, having the choker chain. Who makes that? Who produces that? But we promote it, and that's our identity. I mean, not everybody, but for what we see on TV and in the media, like we could go correlate back to Jake Paul. Jake Paul is doing his best nigga impression in front of everybody and getting millions of dollars for it.
So black people are stupid then? You calling us stupid?
I'm not saying we stupid. We ignorant. We're ignorant.
No, we're not ignorant in 2022. No, I am not calling. So you're saying that LeBron James owns a chain? Is he ignorant? Devin Haney owns a chain. Is he ignorant? No, we're dumb. We're stupid.
I'm just saying the things that we value and the things that we value and covet is not real culture.
Yeah, so we're stupid. So what you're saying is we're dumb. A
person is smart and people are dumb.
If this was an abusive relationship,
I mean, I'm just saying, like, you look at other groups of people, they have a code, and it's like we not gonna We not gonna shit on ourselves to serve nobody.
Right.
You know, you look. Do you agree?
I don't know about I've never lived in another culture, so I don't know. I've never.
I'm saying you've been around other people of different nationalities and different cultures. They stick together.
I've never even. No, you know what? I've never even thought about that. People say that a lot. Like I've never been the black guy who says, "Well, Mexican people do it." Like I've never said that in my life. I mean,
you see it every day. You will see Arab people. They will come here and live in a house. It'd be 20 of them in a house, living in a house. 20 people living in a house. One get a gas station, and it's a chain. It's an understanding that they come first.
Right. I agree, and I say this all the time. And
all cultures do it.
The day we start treating each other better and understanding that our position in this society, our position in this world starts with us. The moment we do that, the world changes entirely. Point blank, period. The world changes in that absolute moment. When we unify and have a common goal to put us in an elevated position, the world changes, because nobody's going to do it for you. Like I say all the time, and me and Fred, we had this conversation millions of times. I do not expect a white person in position of power to give me any more precedence than they're going to give themselves and their descendants. It's impossible for me to think that they're going to put me in a position above them. They will create the illusion of equality, but there is no such thing. Whatever you want in this world, you got to take it, or you got to create it for yourself. Point blank, period. It's already understood that we are way fucking behind. Why would we expect our oppressors and those who enslaved our ancestors to do anything for us? Like, I'm not surprised at anything that occurs in this system when it's across the racial lines. Look what happened to our ancestors. Like, people got to understand the reason why we even had an opportunity to be emancipated. Like, it had nothing to do with America wanting to give us an opportunity of equality. It was global positioning and global power that was occurring, and America didn't want to shift that power. See, America do anything to keep the power in position that it is in their hands. See, it's global competitors right now that America has been trying to ward off since the first war, since World War I, and even in the Civil War. Like, America do anything to keep this power structure in the place that it's in at any cost, and understand that black people is at the bottom. Only way we get up out this hole is if we help each other up. That's it, that's all. We got to change the way we think about one another instead of what we've been conditioned to think over the years. And now we actually got that genetic trait as blacks now to hate one another. Like, that's a genetic trait now. White people don't have nothing to do with it no more. They put it in us, and now they like, let them feed it. And we fed it. We have to reverse that.
Yo, Al, I'm not gonna lie. Real quick, Fred, I don't, to get back to what you were saying, I don't think it's easy, Fred, for a lot of people to take power, to take ownership. I don't think it's easy, Fred. Like, you're an independent film. You know, think about your credential situation, Fred. Who willingly turned their credentials in, didn't try and fight, you know what I'm saying? And you just stepped away. You got other people kissing ass for position. And that's just across corporate world, you know what I'm saying? That's just corporate practice. So I don't think it's easy, and that's a feather in your cap, you know what I'm saying? And other people with independent minds like Nipsey Hussle, you know what I'm saying? people that got the balls to actually put their money up.
But that's the thing. We need to quit looking for easy, brother. We need to quit looking for easy.
But
Easy is what's getting us messed
hold
up.
on real quick, brother. Hold on real quick. I gotta address L. Look, I appreciate everything you say, right? But bro, this is what I believe. I believe blacks need to take accountability. And I don't want people to I don't want to hear about what other races do. I don't care. If it's about black, then we gotta take accountability. There need to be some repercussions for how certain people are moving out here. And
I
that's
agree.
just what it is. If black gotta care about black, then we gotta care about it all the way around. Meaning we hand down punishment. That's the only way you're gonna bring about unity, you know what I'm saying, and culture. Because it's the wild, wild west for us out here right now. But if you start enforcing some repercussion behind that shit, your money don't mean nothing. Your money don't mean nothing. You start I mean, shit. Who can the athletes run to? There ain't no. That's fucked up. What happened to Kyrie? He left on the island right there because there is no accountability.
But I'm glad he chose to retire. I'm just gonna say this real quick. I'm glad that he chose to retire, or he's highly considering it, because who wants to be embarrassed times 10? Like, they're going above and beyond 500,000 of this, and you got to go through this rabbi and go through that, and it's too much, man. But go ahead, Ed. Go ahead.
Actually, L, let me go around. We got a couple new people. Go ahead, Deacon.
Yeah.
Hey, salute to the panel. What's good, everybody?
Hey,
what up, brother?
Yes, sir. Dude? What's happening? I was listening to the young brother Hill. Bruh, I promise you, that was confirmation. What you were saying, I was sitting down thinking to myself earlier today. And Fred, it's not that we're stupid. What he was saying, I'm gonna put it how I was thinking about it today. When you think about what's going on in the dynamics as it pertains to entertainers on all levels, right? Everybody is trying to emulate and imitate these entertainers. And
many people.
Right. Correction. Thank you. Right. From the necklace, the choker, whatever you want to call it, right? I mean, all these things, right? We are being told that these things that we see are our culture. Now, mind you, our real culture have been stripped away from us. And we have been thrust upon us a new culture, a new identity. And it's all destruction and chaotic and downhill, because what we're being sold is death. Even your children, most of our babies are being raised to believe you have not made it unless you wearing a choker, right? Unless you are wearing something that your favorite athlete or entertainer has on. But like he said, who's benefiting from our carnage, from the death, from the destruction, from the downhill of our people? They're going up and we're going down. Matter of fact, we're not going down. We're not even allowed to raise that level, right? And I say this here, and I know I hear it all the time. Well, no, America's the land of the free. It's opportunity for everybody. Well, they show you at the highest level with all of your millions that you're not free. This man retweeted a post of a documentary. He didn't write he didn't have anything with the makings of this documentary, right? He don't own the platform that it's on. But what you did was, when you have a black that raised up in in a rebellious way to them, what they would do, take it back to slavery. What they would do, that runaway slave, that rebellious slave, they would herd up all the slaves on that plantation and make them gather up and watch them beat the hide off this rebellious slave. They did that to send a message to them. This is what will happen to you. If you raise up against us, this is what will happen to you. This man is being decapitated before the world. Now, this is not just for America. Understand, this is going around the world, right? So what does that say about us? Because listen, now we are individuals, but they don't see that. They see that this is how blacks are being treated, not an individual. This is what they do to blacks when they get out of line. You could be a billionaire, but if you are, and to your point, yes, we need to get our own. We need to create and build our own. Kanye West, he was months ago, he was talking about he's a billionaire. He got 9 billion, right? But with a stroke of a pen, he's no longer a billionaire. Why? Because he was on their platforms. You're not free until you're really free. You're not free until all of your people are liberated. You got to listen. Until all of us are free, none of us are free. So when we see this happen to them at the top, what the hell you think gonna happen to the ones at the bottom?
Well, we got one more coming in, and then we got Big O. What's up, man?
Okay, so you cut me off. Okay.
No, you stopped.
Hey, what's going on?
Go ahead.
Hey, what's going on, brother? How you doing?
Hey, what's good,
I chimed in, yeah, and this is in regards to what Brother Deke is saying. You know what I'm saying? And I agree to a degree with what you're saying. But the thing is like with Kyrie, is that we can't throw a rock and then try and hide our hands. He knew what he was doing when he posted that tweet. He was fully aware of it. So when you do something, you got to already know. It's not like we're unaware that it could be possible repercussions coming behind it. So once you do that, you got to be prepared to go all the way or not even do it. I liken this to the example of an individual that goes ballistic with a police officer when pulled over doing a traffic stop. You're pulled over doing a traffic stop and you begin to curse and be irate and out of control. But then when he turns it up, you tend to cower it down. And now you start crying about how you're getting beat. Well, you should have stayed quiet from the get-go and just took your ticket and moved on. If you wasn't ready to go all the way, you should have just kept it easy. And that's the same thing with Kyrie and with Kanye. Any of these guys who step up and make a statement. Once you make that statement, look, it's consequences that come behind these actions. Anything that we do or say, there's a repercussion, good or bad.
Can I ask you a question, brother?
Go ahead.
What did he say in that post? What did he say?
He posted a tweet about a documentary. Now, mind you, I am an individual that believes that we are the children of Israel here in America. Now, he posted a documentary that presents information proving that we are the chosen people of Israel, the true chosen people of God.
What did he say or do wrong?
He didn't do anything incorrect.
So what are we talking about here then?
No, but the thing of it is that when you do that, where are we at? You're speaking about where we at. We're here in America.
Wow.
We're not in our own homeland.
Wow. But Bigo, let's be honest, you're making excuses
right
for a certain group of people to slam their gavel, their hammer down on us whenever they see fit. And that's not cool. That's not cool.
That's
man.
Right.
Yeah, it
No,
ain't cool
it
at all.
is
That
it's to be expected. You shouldn't be when you do a certain thing, man. You shouldn't be surprised when
Well,
some
are you saying
consequences come.
Wow.
Are you saying that we're
You
kids?
shouldn't be
Are you saying that we're
surprised.
kids? Bigo. Are you saying that we're children and we
No,
need
I'm
to be
not.
reprimanded by people who have more money, quote unquote, more wealth than us? We supposed to get spanked in front of the whole world and
No,
get
you
buck
should
walking in
not.
front of the whole
No,
world.
you should not. But
Okay,
guess
what's the
what?
solution?
You
What's the
should
solution?
be. You should be.
The
Hey, well,
solution
I'm gonna
is
tell
we
you.
stay
I'm
on
gonna tell you
code.
right now what the
Yeah, let
solution
them.
is.
Only one person
It's
can talk. Go ahead.
it's found in 1 Kings chapter 8, verse 44 through 48. And what that states is that if the children of Israel are brought to a land by their captives, far or near, that if they turn back and repent and ask the Most High for forgiveness, then he will turn our captivity around and bring us back to where we're supposed to be. That's the solution, but nobody wants to hear that. You know what I'm saying? Because it's a so-called religious-based solution.
Go ahead, Al. You want to? Go ahead, Al.
that last part I do agree with the brother with. This like I always say, man, matters are beyond the matters that we face today in today's world. It's beyond man's intervention. Only divine correction can solve this. You know, it's ugly because it's a spiritual war that we fighting.
I agree.
More so than the fleshly one. So with that being said, I'm wise enough to understand that really no man has the power, but I do believe that the direction in which we going in as a whole is definitely nowhere near the solution. It's counterproductive. You know, like you just use anytime you're looking for a solution, you got to go back to history and you got to look around. You got to survey the area, you know, survey the climate and see, okay, who's handling this like this and not like that. We the only group of people that don't have unity. Point blank, period. Like you go in any other communities with any other people that's here in America as well that are supposed foreigners. They set up shop, they do business, you know, they establish some kind of power structure. They have a structure that's one of order. You can't just come in there and do anything to these people. I'm gonna give you an example. I believe this happened in Chicago. The police killed a Puerto Rican kid. And them Latin kings, man, and these are criminals, man. These are known criminals. Man, they brought it right to the police.
Yeah.
And you know what them police said? They said, man, we gotta back off them. Them niggas the police didn't even go after the Latin kings.
Mm.
They didn't even go after them.
Straight
Because
power.
they unified for that one moment and for them killing that young kid. And they said, you know what? It ain't worth us being taken out because these niggas about to bring it. They wasn't marching at all. Them niggas was coming up with arms, knocking police down. Now, I'm not on here talking about killing police, but I'm saying
prayer without works is dead.
Facts. And like I say, man, we gotta treat each other better, man. We gotta change the way we feel about one another. That's gonna automatically change the outset of our position and how the rest of the world view us. Because, man, it's crazy, man. I done found myself defending us to other people because I done had so many people. I'm talking about Russians, Mexicans, people from all over the country. They be like, man, you not black, man. I'm like, what you mean I'm not black, man? I'm black as a motherfucker. What you mean? They like, no, you different, man. You not like them. And I had to say, what you mean by that? So I keep fishing it out of them. They like, man, you're not lazy. you're not ignorant. I said, hold on, time out, homie. Let me give you some. I said, let me give you some game before you get beat up out here, because you're gonna say that to the wrong person, and a nigga gonna beat you up. So let me give you some game. I said, you been taught to feel that way about us, but just like you seen me, you thinking I'm not black because of how I conduct myself. I said, it's many like me. You ain't gonna never see them, no. Society not gonna never show you these examples, because we already have a light and a picture painted by society about us that's totally negative. So people abroad can feel like this is the filth of the earth. I told you, you look at the racial hierarchy, man, we at the bottom. That's for a reason, man. That's for a specific design reason. But the only way we change that is how we treat each other, man. I don't care what the situation is, man. I always want to see a black person win. I don't give a fuck if I'm losing. I want to see a black man win if he for righteousness and he doing something good. As long as you're not a rapist, as long as you ain't out here a murderer killing people for no reason. If you're not a scumbag, filth motherfucker, man, and you black, I want you to win, homie. Point blank,
That's
period.
right.
It ain't no hate in my heart for you. It ain't no hate on my heart for no man, but if you black, I definitely want you to win.
That's
But
right.
brother, it start with the kids, brother. It start with the kids. Like adults, a lot of us already stuck in our ways. Not saying we can't change, but if you look at any movement, it start with straight ground roots, and you have to get those ideals and those thought process into the children, so then they can come up and help you and help one another. Because kids are not dumb; they watching everything we say, we do, how we move. You know what I'm saying? So it really start with the children. And the message that you said, El, about everybody helping one another, it depends on the ego. Are we willing to let our ego and a lot of pride go to do the teamwork so we all can win, so we all can economically get to where we need to be?
Absolutely.
Yeah, Jerry go ahead, Jerry.
That's a problem too.
I'm not going to say anything about black folks. I don't want to offend anybody. But what I will say about white folks is a couple things. First, I got a huge white family all over the country. My family's been here through Ellis Island since the country was founded. You guys would be surprised how little unity white people have. I keep hearing this. All these other races have unity. No, don't believe that. That's not true. Of course,
Salute, champ.
of course, a certain percentage, maybe. But I can tell you from my experience, I can only speak from my own experience. It's what you think it is. It's not, man. It's not like that.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Unified like that. There's a tremendous political divide right now between white people across the country, between conservatives and liberals. Maybe you're not really aware of it, but I can tell you firsthand, it's frothing at the mouth. It's a very divisive thing that's going on there. And secondly, I want to say this. Paulie Malignaggi made some anti-Semitic remarks, and he lost his job. A very good job commentating at Showtime. He lost his job for those comments. The comedian from Seinfeld, Kramer, was doing stand-up, and he made some very racist anti-Semitic remarks, and you ain't seen nor heard of him since. The rest of them, the girls, they went on to do other shows. That guy, I don't know his name, but he's unheard of. So that is across the board. That's not just for black people if they say something racist or anti-Semitic and there's nothing mentioned. That happens to white people too. And Paulie Malignaggi is a perfect example. And the guy from Kramer, they said wrongful shit and they got punished for it.
But they're not getting dragged on a tour on a chain shown to everybody a certain way, though. Do you understand what I'm saying?
And not just that, and Fresh, check it, man.
Wait. We gotta get deep. We gotta let Champion Heart respond. I'm sorry.
Okay, yeah, my bad, champ. Go ahead. My bad. Salute to you, champion.
My brother joining tonight. All right. Can y'all hear me?
Yes, sir.
All right. And Fresh, how you been, brother?
I'm being good, brother. How you doing?
I'm good. I just wanted to jump on real quick, man. I'm not gonna stay on long. I just kind of wanted to piggyback off of what Big O was saying, and I understood what he was saying, that because of where we are, when you address the issues of, when you address the power structure, understand that there are going to be repercussions for that, and you got to be ready for that. It's just like when Ali made his stand. He was ready, for the repercussions, and so I get what he was saying. That Kyrie, can't say the things he may say or whatever the case may be, and then turn around and not stand on his square. I feel that Kyrie, in my opinion, I could be wrong, but I feel he should, at this point, he should have enough capital. I'll call fuck you money.
Over $100 million.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I call fuck you money. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? But this thing is like Ann Fresh was saying, okay, all right, stand on one foot, dance around. He got to do all this stuff. Like, the man's already apologized. Now you want him to do this.
Right.
Now he's done that. Now you want him to do this. You know what I'm saying? My opinion is, I feel that he should have fuck you money, and tell him to do that. You know what I'm saying? And stand on his square. The thing is that that spirit of Ali, man, we don't have that anymore. I feel that we should stand collectively, you know what I'm saying, and say fuck the NBA. But you're not gonna have enough of us do that. Everyone is, Big O was saying that we need to apologize to the Most High to change our situation. But if we can't come collectively to boycott, these organizations, how do you expect us to come together and do what we need to do concerning the Most High to change our
Absolutely.
situation? You see what I'm saying? We're gonna have to come to that point, like what I was saying. But I get what again, to piggyback off of what Jerry was saying. And the reason I thought about it is because I was watching an interview with who was his name?
Donald
I'm sorry.
Donald Sterling, that one that's floating.
No, it was an interview with Leo
Cohen.
Leo Coca. Yeah, and Charlemagne called him out because Leo was saying that the death that they push to the certain group, how Leo was saying was a problem in America, and then Charlemagne was like, doesn't that sound hypocritical for you to say that? Yet the music and company that you own, this is what they do. And then Leo would turn right around and said, well, I got to feed my family.
Yeah, he said that.
Hey, Fred, can I interject right quick?
Yeah, go ahead, bro.
I want to go back to the comments that Jerry made. It goes back to being on code. You heard that spiel that he just gave us? That was him being on code for his people. He gonna throw us that bullshit curve about this, that, and the third. That was bogus. That was being on code. That was a prime example.
Yeah, I want to speak on that.
Yeah, and my thing is, bro. Yeah, my thing is,
we're
man.
not gonna just gloss over that, man. That was being on code is.
I agree.
The devil's greatest trick is to make you believe he don't exist.
Right, exactly. I
Jerry,
agree.
let Deacon respond. Jerry, let Deacon respond.
Go ahead, Deacon.
Yeah. My thing is, man. We can agree that other people have their issues. We don't deny that. And see, one thing about black folks, man, we're some of the most loving. I know it. Everybody got their problem, but we are some of the most forgiving and loving people, bro. Especially for all that we've gone through. You know what I'm saying? We're so forgiving. Sometimes it even pisses us off. You know what I'm saying? Like, God damn, can we just stand for something? That's why we always forgiving.
Because any other group would have been raising hell. Just saying.
Raising hell. You know what I'm saying? So understand, man, that for black people, we've come a long way, but we got a long way to go, man. And for us to be told in 2022 that you're still not free, And we're not just telling it to you. We're actually showing it to you. Now, see, I'm finna say something that I never said on the show before because I know my people hurting, bro. And I tap my pockets up for my people, bro. I don't give lip service. I do for people, and I do for people in a major way, bro. You know what I mean? I think I got just as much money as Fred, bro. I don't go on here talking about that there, bro. You know what I'm saying? Because it's not about that. I'm not gonna brag, boast, or none of that. I don't have to do that. I'm not trying to shine for nobody. But even though some of us are doing well, guess what? There's too many of us out here that's not, bro. That's not. You know what I'm saying? So when we have them at the top, bro, getting decapitated before the world, that affects all of us. And then if there's a word now that's being used, and disrespect to everybody, because I don't want nobody to think I'm pointing at nobody, but there's a new word to me. It's a new word to me that's being used as a whip. As a whip. And that word is accountability. Accountability. Yes, that's a whip. And I'm going to tell you how it's a whip. Because you got folks coming in this country. And I'm talking about people I even know. Can't even speak a lick of English. Just got here hot foot. Get a loan. Get a brand new house. Yep. I got 8 peoples in them. You feel what I'm saying? Start a fresh business. You've been here all your life. You know what they tell you? You lazy. You shitless. You don't want to do nothing. You don't want to be held. You don't want to hold yourself accountable. When all the cards are stacked against you. And this is facts. This is the system. That's what racism looks like. So when folks talk about, man, you blacks are just being racist, cut the shit, man. Because you know we can't be racist. We don't control the power structure in this country. Yeah, we all have our prejudice. We all can be prejudiced, right? Mm-hmm. And when we talk about racism, we're not talking about the Jerrys of the world. We know he don't control the power structure. So people like that shouldn't take offense when we're talking about these certain things. We're talking about the people who truly have their foot on our neck. With the stroke of a pen.
Hey, it's just one thing.
I'm going to say this last thing, fam. We got, and I'm talking about facts. Black women suffer the most out of any group of women in this country. Why I say that? Because they say black women can take more pain than any other woman, any other group. So they get genetic medicines when other groups get the best of medicine. So black women have to suffer in pain and agonize in pain because they telling the doctor, hey man, I'm in serious pain, but the doctor does nothing about it but give them generic medicines. This is what we have to go. That's racism. I could go on and on, but I'm not going to disrespect the panel.
But I'm gonna just say this real quick. We need to boycott effectively so we can be taken seriously.
Facts.
The number one reason why people don't respect us too, because they see how shifty we is with our own people, with our messaging. We'll say something today, and then a week from now, we thinking a whole different thought process instead of staying on code and pushing that line 110%. So
I agree, man. That's 100%. I agree with that, man. 100%.
200%.
Yeah, and I just one thing to that I would like to say about the accountability aspect is that the Most High does require accountability, man.
That's right. Yeah, but I'm just talking about the whip. Okay, go ahead. My bad. Go ahead.
Yeah, he requires for us to acknowledge our iniquity or our transgression to be forgiven. So that's a necessary aspect of this life that we in.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? For us to go ahead and not look at the wrong that we doing.
Right.
And acknowledge it and turn from it. It's just that simple.
Right.
If you look in the Bible, the men that didn't do that, God didn't fool with them no more. Like Saul.
Right.
David, he did a great crime.
Right.
But God forgave him because he immediately.
But can I ask you a question, brother, without cutting you off? Do you understand where I'm coming from when I say what I said?
Yes, I do. Yes, I do.
Okay, because I don't want to conflict the two.
No doubt. I agree. I agree with you, brother.
I appreciate it.
Yeah, hey, but look, this is one of the things, man. I've been listening for, I guess, probably like a year and a half, something like that. And one of the things that I noticed just about with our people in general is that we have a tendency to sympathize with criminals in our community. And I think that's a huge problem. We want to be, we're regular people working jobs, and we want to acknowledge street codes that are shit that don't got nothing to do with us, man.
Right.
We gotta, the Bible tells us to do what? To hate evil. If these things are evil things, we can't have nothing to do with them.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Even if it's our own people that's doing these things. Look, man, you gotta turn from that, brother. You can't do that no more.
I can agree with you, man. You know, I prayed that out and I'm guilty of that because I'm gonna explain why. And you hit me right on the head. It took me a while to get that out of my system because I couldn't ride through the streets without being flagged down and gotta show love. And if I don't, I'm trying to act a certain way, you know. So I didn't want people to think I'm trying to act a certain way. You know what I'm saying? You know, I even felt guilty about my kids having and other folks didn't. I felt, I'm gonna tell you, hit my hand to God, bro. I had kids coming to me talking about they wish that I was their father. I said, wait, no, you honor your father. You know, and I would give them a good talking to. You understand what I'm saying? And let them know that don't worry about material things. You know what I mean? Because it just hurted me. You know what I'm saying? But I tried to do all I can do to try and uplift my people the best I can. I don't, you know, spending money, that's one thing. I done did a lot of that, right? But at the end of the day, if the condition of the mind doesn't change, you can throw all the money you want on it. The heart and the mind has to change. They have to be the renewing of the mind.
100%.
You know what I'm saying? So like I talked to my brother, man, you know what I'm saying? This man got life plus 25 plus 25. Now he get it. But I was trying to get you to get it on this side. Now you're on the other side of the wall telling me now you understand. You know what I'm saying? I say, man, I live my life like I'm 62 years old. You know what he told me? Bruh, I ain't finna get out here and lay down like no old ass man. I say, hold on, bruh. I'm not telling you to live your life like no old, to lay down like no old man. I'm not telling you to lay down. I'm just telling you to slow down so you can see what's going on out here, brother.
Right.
It's a difference. You know, I've always moved like an old man. People always thought I was older than I was. You know what I mean? Because I respect my God. And if I respect God, I can respect myself. And if I can't respect me, I can't respect you, brother. There's too many people out here don't have, and if they don't respect themselves, bro, they'll take your life and ain't nothing. Because they have no moral compass. You know what I'm saying? A man that don't believe in God don't believe in anything. And a man that don't believe in anything or do anything. I can't trust that.
Or even something even better than that, you got to understand that you come from God, right? So
That's
if you one of God's children, don't you have the power of God because you one of God's children, right?
That's right.
Don't start using your power. That's all.
That's right. That's right.
Al, you wanted to say something?
Yeah, man. It's you know, great content, man. Everybody providing you know, valuable content, man. And as far as what Jerry said, man, you know, I'm not going to attack Jerry because, you know, I understand where he coming from. You know, it's you got to understand the position, the deficiency that he's suffering from. He don't know what it is to be black, so we got to understand that there's a mental deficiency that even we suffer from. We don't know what it is to be white and privileged. We don't understand that lifestyle. I don't expect a white person to understand that man, waking up black and understanding that you black and dealing with the problems that we've been dealt in the hand we've been dealt. You can't mentally grasp that. So sometimes when Jerry say things, I understand that I'm not gonna come back and reply with an attack, because from everything that he's provided on this panel, I can see that he's genuine. Like, I don't think he's coming from a foul place. You get what I'm saying?
I'm just saying, me saying he's speaking on code. How's that an attack? It's the truth.
I'm not saying because I don't even perceive him as coming from that angle. That's partially, but just listen to what I'm saying. Partially, what he said was true, But this is the other half
that's
of
him
that.
being on code. Let's stop playing the games.
I'm not. I'm trying to give you. I'm trying to give
It's
you a
right
deeper.
there in your face, and you still gonna say, "Nah, man, he's a good guy. He's a nice guy." No, the dude is on code. He's
Okay,
throwing us the curve to throw us
watch this
off.
though. This the other half of that though.
That's the curve to throw us off. Come on, you say
It don't
you.
throw. It don't throw me off.
But
It don't
no,
throw
but
me
you-
off at all because
Don't go that.
guess
it
what
don't
though?
throw me
Guess
off
what
at all
though?
because
Guess what though? We respect each other's mind. We respect you, L. We
I
respect
respect
you.
mine, but I'm trying to
Yeah,
open
that's what I'm
your
saying.
eyes to
no.
what's really
Listen,
going
I'm
on.
Yeah,
You
I'm not
can't
disagreeing,
kill. Hey,
brother.
listen.
I'm not disagreeing with you, brother.
Hey, it's very little. It's very little. Anybody can tell me about white people because understand this. I got white blood family members, homie. My step grandmother, her brothers was part of the KKK in Indiana, and I was there in the boondocks with them niggas. I know all about their mental mindset, and I'm gonna tell you like this: what I learned about white racist people like that, they nothing but white niggas with a little bit more entitlement. They the stepbrother of the white folks that's crying, y'all ain't doing enough for us. I'm telling you, they ain't
Poor white folks are not racist. They're bigots.
right. Exactly. That's
'Cause they take
exactly what
power
they
with their
are.
money.
Benefit from racism.
They benefit from it, but they're not
Fact.
racist.
Right.
No, they not. They really not, to be honest. And I respect them kind. Look, people that you think is racist, look, I respect them more than these motherfuckers that you see putting the whip to Kyrie and Kanye West. Because these are the motherfuckers that tell us there's equality in America and none of this bullshit exists. And at the same time, they show a false narrative of care for injustices, which really isn't an injustice. Since when did you start caring about racism? Since when did America really start caring about racism that much?
L, I misspoke. Can I correct myself real quick?
Go ahead, brother.
I said poor white folks are not racist, they're bigots. What I just did when I did that was throw a blanket over all poor white folks, and that's not fair. So the ones who are bigots, and I'm not saying all of them are, so I want to correct that. Because I don't like the fact that Pookie and Ray Ray can go out there and do a crime and they label all black people shitless and criminals because of two people, instead of separating the two from the race. We don't have that privilege in most cases.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
That's how we all one big nigga to them. So
right.
That's
exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
I would like to state too, though, like just hitting on that unification aspect, that I don't have an issue with any nation being unified, because I believe that's a normal thing. Every single country on the earth is ran by their own people. They're not ran by a different nation of people. So unification is a positive thing. The only thing that I would say is that I believe that America is afraid of the unification, as you've been saying, L, of our people being unified. I believe there is a true fear of that, 100%.
That's 100% true.
And we got
this
evidence
is why,
of that.
And that's global.
We got evidence.
But you got to understand that, look, see, you got to go back to when white people unified the white race. They did it for a purpose of having complete global power. It was unlike any other form of power established within any empire that has ever existed. There has been 6 major empires before this one that we currently are under. They changed the whole game up because they particularly identified the main enemy, which was the black man. Why? Because historically, this man has shown to be, if there was a such thing as a superior man, he has shown the ability to do that because the mother of civilization comes from Africa, ancient Egypt. Now, me personally, what I know about ancient Egypt, I'm not too big on them. You know why? Because they was directly against the true God. They was doing all kind of foul shit. But in this world we live under, the satanic rule and the satanic influence, when you got a man under that influence, he's gonna look at race. And that's exactly what they did. They said, we're gonna unify, we're gonna establish a power structure that has never been seen before, and we're gonna do it within the white race. Because with numbers, there's strength. So they understood that concept. And while everybody else was loving and playing and praying, these motherfuckers was planning. And it was a different type of evil.
Okay, go ahead, Jerry.
I'm not going to say a whole lot more because, frankly, I'm always in here the only white guy. I know there's some people that think I come here to instigate or cause problems. That's my last intention, man. Like, I got several black folks in my family. I grew up around black folks, man. I care for black folks. I don't need to start trouble with black folks because I listened to your show for a month. And that's all I heard was death threats, brothers going at each other's throats. They don't need me to cause any dissension. The dissension is there in droves already. And you guys have been speaking on that. So I want to clear the air about that. I don't come here for that. I come here to talk boxing. They talk, so you guys social issues. And yeah, I'm a white man's input, not a partial input. I don't know shit about staying on code. What I said the last time I spoke is I told you my truth about the lack of unity I see in my white surroundings, my family. I just spoke a simple truth about that. And the other two things I said about Paul Malignaggi getting fired and the guy from Seinfeld getting fired are just absolute fucking truths. Why he wants to say, get all huffy and puffy and claim I'm on code. He never explained why. And I thank you for speaking to my character because over the last couple of months, I'm sure you've realized, man, I'm not what maybe he thinks I am. I don't know shit about when you say code. I'm staying on code. I don't code for nobody. Yeah. I mean, I just spoke a simple truth about what I would say.
Well, you just came in and said
for the black race. I live amongst black folks. I got black family. I hope the best. And lastly, I'll say this. Yes, accountability. As men, any race, as men, we all have to be accountable. If we're that, 90% of the other stuff going to fall right in place. And lastly, when it comes to unity amongst white people, you can't find people any whiter than the people in the Ukraine. And guess what? They're under attack by who? Other white people. So don't convince yourself that there's great unity amongst white people to just, globally to just own shit. Yeah, if you're convincing yourself that, you're wasting your time and causing yourself to regret instead of concentrate on what's important that will move you forward, because that part you guys are just off base about.
Okay.
But it is the truth.
Yeah.
Can I respond?
Hold on. He just came on. Yeah, let me say this real quick. You can see me respond.
Go ahead.
He came right on and said that he don't have to cause dissension or threaten anybody or do anybody any harm because we're doing it to ourselves. He's been listening for about a month, and all he hears is threat. You niggas gonna kill yourself. I ain't got to kill you. I mean, come. That's not reaching out with olive branch. That's not coming in peace. You've been. Come on, man. I mean, you study throwing little rocks, but we still respect you. Fred allowed all of us to come up here and say what we wanted. That's cool. But can I ask you a question, Jerry?
Y'all sounding like Shaq and them.
Yeah. You feel me? That's crazy, bro. Hold on.
It's not crazy. I'm just saying.
I ain't talking about you, brother. I'm not talking about you.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm talking about how the cat come in and talking about he don't have to threaten us and all this, but we gonna do it to ourselves. I thought that was being a little. Hey, man, come on, bro. But anyway, he also hold on. If you talking about black folks getting themselves together, from he tell us, I think about a month ago, if that he don't have a problem with black folks getting reparations, but it shouldn't be monetary. How in the hell white folks gonna tell us how we should be liberated?
It wouldn't matter because we'll give it right back to them as soon as we get it.
I mean, whatever we do with it, it doesn't. They don't have. Come on, man. Really?
Is it not true? We
So
like
you saying we don't
butter biscuits.
deserve reparations like every
then.
other group?
We like
Japanese
shiny things and butter biscuits too much. And who
Okay.
the best butter biscuit and shiny thing salesman?
How come I got all my money and handed it back to him yet?
I'm gonna say this real quick, and then I'm gonna be done for the night. Why would black folks we so against getting what is rightfully ours? Because we have this belief that everybody up in Congress is just the devil, and everybody in the judicial branch, the executive branch, is just fucked up, and we can't get no reparations. The Japanese got reparations in the early 1900s.
Preach.
Jewish people get reparations each and every year in the hundreds of millions.
Come on.
When it comes down to every other group, pretty much Ukraine has got their reparations from the United States coming over, but people don't know about that because you don't do your research. I'm a master researcher.
Come on.
So if every other group, even indigenous people here, they've gotten their reparations because everybody say they so poor and they doing so bad. They got casinos, they get land grants, they get so many different things, kickbacks like a motherfucker. But when it comes to black folks, we are quote unquote our own worst enemy in this way. In this
and you
way,
just
like
heard
Malcolm X said, we will know we deserve something, but then go, no, the white man ice is colder. I'm going over there. I'm not going to fuck with y'all. I don't believe in y'all niggas. We don't deserve nothing. I think somebody else is gonna love me more than my own people are gonna love me. And I just think that's sick.
Empress just told the truth. Listen,
That's
everything he just said, bro. Hold on, what he just said. You heard what the brother at the top said? Did you hear? Oh my God, man, Empress, you got. Come on, man. You got to keep going.
No, I'm done, man. Because I get passionate and emotional about this stuff because I love y'all. I love y'all.
We love
and I really want to see us win.
I mean, we talking all this. We got all this rhetoric with this. They got the reparations. That got the reparations. Why they get the reparations? Because they have an identity. We consider a monolith, but we don't get the privileges of a monolith. We don't have no nation that we could back up. Japanese people got reparations because they are sovereign people. We African Americans. Can you trace your lineage back to Africa?
Wow. Do you know that?
I'm asking you.
Hold on.
I'm asking you.
Hold on, brother. Now you talk about people who have had their history stripped from them. Do you know most of us was already here?
Right. Yes, I know all that.
So hold on. Listen, man.
Look. I'm not.
Listen, man.
Nigga, you cutting everybody off, man.
I'm talking, bro. Hold on.
Let him finish. Deacon,
Hold on. He got to
let
let
him
me
finish.
finish, bro. Hold on. He got to let me finish now. Hold on.
Let him finish, Deacon.
No, Deacon,
let the man finish and you can respond fully. And you can respond fully.
Bro.
Let him respond. Let him finish his point. You can respond fully. You cut him off in the middle of his point.
It go back to what I originally was talking about, identity. We have no identity. We have no culture. We have nothing that we can say that's where we from, and y'all gonna have to respect that. We black people, we niggas, we this, that, and the third.
Hold on. The fact I'm not against.
Let me land, man. I ain't against us giving reparations, but I guarantee you, they cash us out. Who gonna get that money for real?
Man, that's crazy.
Hold on. But just hear me out. Just hear me out.
Let me get in.
Documents, white folks who were plantation owners all throughout the South and the Midwest kept documentation. Yes, there's a whole bunch of people who don't have documentation. If you ever watch Finding Your Roots on PBS, Channel 9, you would see that a lot of people got theirs wiped away or it was burned away by their slave master, whatever. But there's still a lot of people who have their information through the person that was the slave master, and those people should get reparations. And what they choose to do with it, guess what? That's their choice, because every other group did what the hell they wanted to do with their reparations. I will say this is in our best interest to put it into, commercial housing and different, real estate and shit like that. But I'm not the owner of what people do with their money. I just think it'd be in our best interest to put it away and let it invest and collect. and grow black banks. We need black banks. Listen, without a black banking system, an ecosystem, we kind of just talking in circles. It will never be what we need it to be. And this is not no Debbie Downer. This is the truth. We have to get a black bank and believe in it, and everybody put their money in it and not be scared on some Jay Morrison type
There's
shit.
there's
That's
multiple black
Yeah,
banks.
but you gotta do it though. But you gotta do it.
There's multiple.
Y'all want to go around and give y'all
Let
closing
me in,
remarks?
Fred.
Yeah.
Wait.
Let me get my closing remarks, Fred. Yo, I appreciate some of these conversations, but the history lesson, like, I'm tired, bro. We get it. Everybody on here is saying the same shit, except for the brother that just talked about. I just want to let you know, bro, there is black banks, and I do believe that is where progress, as opposed to this fucking lengthy, long history. All due respect to it, but it ain't.
What's the name of the black bank? What's the name of the black bank?
Bro, there's multiple.
What's the name? Name it.
Google it.
Okay.
Are you down? Are you down?
I ain't doubting it.
Oh,
I'm not doubting it. I'm just asking you.
Okay, then Google it. That's how I found it.
Okay. If you Google it, why can't you name it?
Here, can we give our closing remarks? We're gonna be here a whole nother hour.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Mr. Henderson. Give your closing remarks.
So anyway, Fred. At the end of the day, it's not that easy because people don't put their own money up. If it was, there'd be a lot more millionaires, right? And outside of that, man, let's talk about some progress, like what to do, as opposed to what the fuck is happening. Like, please, bro. It's like nails on the chalkboard. And I'm out.
Appreciate you.
I'll go next.
Let me jump in, Fred, before y'all.
Well, you about to give your closing remark? Go ahead.
Huh? I was just gonna add to it, man, that I think it's Big O. He came in here, man. He was dropping some gems on y'all, and y'all didn't even get it. It's like it just went right over everybody's head because you talking about reparations, you're talking about all these different things, but what the man said, and he read it. He said, you got to turn back to God. You got to repent. If you don't do that, everything else you're talking about, it ain't nothing but vanity, bro. That's what you have to do, period. Y'all let that go right over your head.
You can't say that, brother. Don't do that. You're wrong for saying that. You're wrong for saying that. Don't do that.
Deacon, let him give his closing remarks.
It's just the facts, man.
That's not a fact.
Deacon, let him give his closing remarks. I mean, please, so we can get out of here. We'll be here another hour.
I didn't do nothing but sit back and listen to the whole conversation. Fred knows I normally would call in. I just sat back and listened to the whole conversation. Yeah, I'm telling you, the man told you exactly what you had to do. And he said that no one is ready to hear about that. No one wants to listen to that. And y'all just proved it. That's not what anybody's willing to do. You want to talk about money. You got to talk about black banks. That's not what's going to save you, bro.
Okay. You pray your life away until you pass away. I'm gone.
Hey, let me get next real quick so I can finish up real quick. I gotta go back to work.
Let me get are you done, Anthony? Because I'm kicking y'all out as we go.
Yeah, I'm good. Fred.
All right, appreciate you, dog. Go ahead, Kyle, because you got to hit and run. Go ahead, Kyle.
Fred, man, great fucking video earlier today.
Which one?
That is not going out of business. It's being what they say divvied out. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. They're sharing the wealth. So they're not going broke. They what do you call it when they delegating? Yeah. You know what I'm saying? They're delegating other folks to run what they need to run, because that was a great fucking video you did today, man. I just want to let you know that. Hey, y'all, man, I love y'all, man. Y'all know it's Sunday, so I'm at the workhouse. But most definitely, man, I enjoyed the show, man. Appreciate everybody for coming on and messing with Fredro. Great shit, Fred. Great fucking shit, man. And I'll see y'all boys tomorrow.
All right, brother. Peace.
Deacon, you want to go because you're biting at the bit? You want to go next? Go ahead, bro.
No, it's not that I'm biting at the bits. Listen, man. Listen, we all listening. We all have point of views because listen, to say that what the brother said went over our head was disingenuous, brother. And then if you're talking about loving and believing and honoring God and honoring the words of God, you don't want to tell a man his position with God, what his relationship is with God. You don't know where I stand at with God, brother. As I speak, I pray. As I think, I pray. As I walk, I pray. As I breathe, I pray. Constantly. I got a constant relationship with God. That's why I can come on here and give you testimony after testimony after testimony. Knowledge in and of itself, up and up like he said, do. What is all the knowledge if you have no wisdom? From your experience, testimony, what you know that God has brought you through and brought you out of. That you can tell somebody to help bring them from a dead level to a living level, to bring them out of their current situation. Because you might have gone through the same thing, but they didn't know to get on their knees and pray and talk to God, or whatever the case may be, right? You got to have testimonies. I got a relationship with God, where I can constantly tell you what God has done, how he's spoken to me directly. You understand me? I've been in other countries and seen God work, protecting me in the hellfire for real. So don't ever question that, brother. I heard this, brother, and that's what when he was. And if you play the tape back, me and Champion Harden and everybody was on the panel was saying yes to that. We agree with the brother. We didn't disagree with that.
Right.
We heard him and we agreed with it because he didn't say anything wrong. That let me know you had an agenda. You just wanted to say something. You don't just throw arrows like that, brother. Because we came up here to fellowship with brothers, man. And you know what? We build and we feed and we learn from each other, brother. And guess what? Somebody else can be blessed by something L or a champion or Big O or Fred, anybody say on this panel. But we don't want to be up here bombasting each other, bashing each other across the head, shooting arrows for no damn reason. When I say I love y'all, brother, I mean it. It's not lip service for me. You know what? Until a man showed me that I need to turn and go a different direction. Because I'm not going to be no fool either. But I'll give a man my last, bro, because that's the kind of heart I got. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And like I said, I don't come over here bragging about things I have. And I come up here for the information as well. You know what I'm saying? And just like we be talking about giving back, man, I try to show them cats how to turn from this way and come and get it this way, whatever that means. You know what I'm saying? To get it the right way. I've been down that road. I know what that looked like. You know what I'm saying? God will, let me tell you something about God, bro. See, when you pray in vain, God will give you what you want just to show you what you need. I'm going to say it one more time. God will give you exactly what you want to show you exactly what you need. It's a process. You see, sometimes we want a lot of things that's not necessarily good for us. But God will take you exactly down that road to show you what you need. You know what I mean? And you know, there's a saying, bro, don't pray to God for anything, praying in vain, and you don't really need that. Because he'll give it to you. And sometimes giving it to you will whoop your ass. You know what I'm saying? So that's that. Hey man, I love y'all, bro. And I chime in tomorrow. I love y'all, brother. Yes, sir.
Appreciate you, dog. Go ahead, Champion Heart.
All right.
Who's it on?
You, dog.
Okay. Man, it's a good conversation, man. We went over a lot. I don't even know where to begin. Let me just say that this whole thing with Kyrie, Barkley has always cooned, so I wasn't surprised by that. I was a little disappointed with Shaq, and now pressure is on him because from what I found out that he actually previewed the film in one of his cinema theaters that he owns, and so I want him to have the same energy, you know, he had for Kyrie. You know what I'm saying? Again, you know, like I don't know who brought it up. I think it was L that brought it up. You know, basically the I'm sorry, no, it was Big O. The documentary was really breaking down who that we are, the 12 tribes of Israel. We are the original Hebrews. Those who are there in that land are not the original Hebrews. I saw that. I don't know if you guys remember the conversation that Professor Griff had with Nick Cannon, and Nick was saying that it's like they saying that we can't speak the truth or something like that. And Professor Griff said no, brother. He said they don't want us to be who we are, and that's the thing, let me speak to this brother Rashid. It's the black bank in LA. I think it's called United One.
One United.
One United, yeah, One United. It's just one of many black banks. I don't understand how our people are conditioned against reparations when, like Aunt Fresh said, so many other groups have gotten it. This thing of, we're just gonna give the money right back. Like the brother was saying, that's not for you to say that. No one else, and all those other groups, when they're getting reparations, there's no one saying that they're gonna get the money right back. They accept the reparations and they keep it moving. I don't understand why, we our people are conditioned to speak against it. That doesn't make sense to me whatsoever. When the brother Anthony came in, I don't know, maybe he came in late on the show, but like Deacon said, what Big O said did not go over our heads, and I think I spoke on it, when I was breaking some things down concerning, us collectively coming together on what I feel we should boycott, the NBA. And I think I was saying that, but at the same time, it's like, how can we do that when we won't even come collectively and address what we need to address concerning the Most High, as a group. So I definitely understood what Big O was saying, but man, it's always good conversation, and I'm gonna come in, jump in whenever I can. I see you out there on the road there. Be careful, brother.
Appreciate you, brother.
Most definitely, man. Salute to my brothers, man. I'm gonna get with y'all
Always
later.
a pleasure.
Jerry, what's up, man?
If you Google black-owned banks in the United States, you'll come up with a comprehensive list. Several. The one I'm looking at has 20 or so banks listed, but that's 20 among many. The biggest being Alamerica Bank out of Alabama. The Harbor Bank of Maryland. I have my business account there. I have it there. I didn't go in there and ask them, is this a black-owned or white-owned bank? I simply put my business account in that bank because it's right en route of my service area. So it was convenient for me to have that bank there so I can make deposits and do banking business. And I see on the list here, Harbor Bank of Maryland. It's a black-owned bank. Regarding reparations and what Deacon was saying, and to clarify, yes, I believe that black folks are owed reparations, but my idea in addition to that is that they kind of be paid mostly in the form of setting up black business and setting up things that are going to benefit black people long term, not a cash payout where they will go and buy an expensive car at a white man's dealership, most likely, an expensive jewelry at a white man's jewelry shop. And then when the money's gone, black folks going to have the same problems. So it's not about saying, well, you're owed money and this is how we're going to pay it. For me, it's not that. It's not a power struggle in that, okay, you're owed money, but this is how we're going to pay it. My ideas are ideas that are progressive to benefit black folks in the long haul, in the big picture, so that they can be a part of the system that many black folks claim oppress them. You see what I mean? So that's where I'm coming from when I'm saying that. Because I think, a lot of black folks would do that. They go buy the big car and the fancy jewelry. But guess what? So would white folks. So would any folks that if you thrust cash on them. They're going to go out and they're going to make extravagant. So it's not so much a white or black thing. It's a people thing. People will do that, especially if you give poor people of any race, a lump sum of money. They're going to go out and blow it. And then what? And you're still going to have the same problems. So also, I got to say this, because I keep hearing this all the time, and maybe I just don't understand. But when I hear black folks say we can't be racist because we don't control things like shipping and exporting, and we don't control those things. Well, Mexican folks don't control those things neither. But can they be racist? Of course they can. Racism lives in the heart of a man. It's not in who controls this, that, or the other thing. You could have control over nothing, but if you have hateful racism in your heart, that's going to show up every time. So I just don't understand who started this theology that black folks can't be racist because they don't control things. I vaguely understand what it means, but it's not applicable. It's just not applicable to where racism has its most hurtful application. And that's when we use it against each other. And I stand by what I said about the basketball player, Kyrie making or promoting this anti-Semitic movie. And the point that I made about Malinaji is 100% accurate. He said some anti-Semitic shit and he got fired. He got fired for that, and that was, I'm sure, a good job that he had there. So it's not as though certain groups are allowed to say anti-Semitic shit and get away with it. I can give you tons of examples where it was never tolerated among white people either. It's something as a group, as a human race, we shouldn't do. We can't sit up and claim racism and then say and do racist shit and think that it's okay because of past wrongdoings. And those wrongdoings were as wrong as could be. And they go all the way back to the homeland of Africa. So there's a lot of wrongdoing in the past, but we got to think about what moves us forward. And lastly, again, white unity is something that is very overblown among black folks. I just have to say, I hear it too much and I know because I lived it, that it doesn't exist the way you think it does. It just doesn't. We're not out here helping each other out left and right, man. People don't give a fuck about nobody. We don't. I can tell you this too. We don't really concern ourselves with what black folks do, or there's certainly no collective effort to keep black folks down. There's no benefit in that for white people. This isn't 300 years ago. There's no benefit for white people to keep black folks down. There's only detriment. If black folks are held down, they're going to be desperate. And if they're desperate, they're going to commit crime. They're going to go upside our fucking heads to take our shit. And there's just no benefit. I ask people, what's the benefit for white folks to keep black folks down? And I never get any type of good answer. What I get is people will hearken back to and conjure up some tragedies of wrongdoings in the past. Sure, they can't be denied, but here in today's world, it's just not the case, man. And any energy spent by black folks, in my estimation, to convince themselves that is going on is energy wasted. Energy wasted. And the word accountability comes into play because for all of us as men and women and even fucking little kids, accountable. You hold yourself accountable in everything you do, and 99% of the rest of everything else going to fall right into place. And Fred, you are clear, living proof, and I know tons of successful black folks, and the key denominator is accountability. They get up, they go to work just like me, they hold themselves accountable, they're not dealing drugs, they're not breaking laws to get themselves in trouble, they hold themselves personally accountable, and they reaping the benefits because of it. And Fred, I thank you for having me in here tonight, because contrary to what some might believe, and I'll say again, I don't come here to start trouble, and I thank L for speaking up for my character, because I think in a couple months he's realized, man, I'm not here to start any problems. I'm more want to be part of the solution. So thank you, brother, and thank you, Kyle, for L for speaking up for me.
Yeah,
and
Appreciate you, Jerry. And shit, even if you want to come and start trouble, by all means, Mr. Henderson, stop with the history lessons. We have had a lengthy list of scholars and racial movements. What's next? Appreciate you coming back, Mr. Henderson. Delonte. LOL, these dudes didn't realize blacks had banks, man. Everyone can't go. Hashtag everyone can't go. Go ahead, Mr. Hill.
I mean, me saying that, Jerry's on code, that's not a dig in him. Human beings are tribal, and nothing wrong with protecting your tribe. And the thing about accountability, being on code with each other as black men, that's accountability. And we all know, if we get them reparations, it's gonna be a line down the block at Gucci and Fendi, like it was when the PPP loans hit. I'm just saying, we need to get together as people and get a collective mindset that being for us ain't a bad thing. It ain't a knock to nobody else. Ain't nothing wrong with putting yourself first. Like when you how you rock out with your kids, Fred, Team Hawthorne, ain't nothing wrong with being Team Black Man. And we gotta put these emotions to the side. We men. We deal with logic and facts. Emotions is a female thing. I'm not trying to knock nobody. I'm just for what's right. And what's right is gonna get us where we need to be.
Appreciate you.
That's my piece.
Appreciate you, dog. Go ahead, Big O. Appreciate you coming through. I'm pretty sure we'll be on this somewhere tomorrow, like this week anyway. What's up, Big O? What you got, man?
Salute, brother. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate the barbershop.
Thank you.
One of the things that I did grow up in, and these are the type of conversations that took place in the barbershop as I was growing up. And I appreciate you, Fred, for having this platform. One of the things that I do see is that patience is a necessary thing that all of us have to work upon, even in conversation. We have to be patient, and Fred, day after day, exhibits a great display of patience. Even when he's being attacked, he has the discipline enough to refrain his tongue from speaking. And the scripture says that a man that can rule his tongue can rule his body. So if we learn to do those things, ruling over our tongue and learning when to speak and when not to speak, we will be far more disciplined and far more patient. One of the scenes that you saw in The Godfather, when Sonny wanted to speak against Salazzo in that deal, he displayed his emotions, and his father reprimanded him and told him, said, "Hey, don't ever show somebody how you feel outside of the family." And we have to learn how to display that more as black men, learn how to control ourselves in conversation and not be so emotional when we're speaking, or when somebody says something that you disagree with, don't get so emotional when you disagree with what you say. And because that's one of the things that I have seen is that, like, even when we see two black men speaking on your platform, I believe it was last week sometime where the brother that speaks about the what was it? He does the promotions of artists, and he got into an argument with another brother, and how quickly they jumped into a discussion about pulling up. You know what I'm saying? It's like, brother, what's up, brother? We going from positivity to talking about pulling up on one another because of a disagreement. You know what I'm saying? We can't be doing such foolishness like that. You know what I'm saying? So that's one of the last things that I wanted to leave with. And speaking to the brother who was saying that stuff went over brothers' heads, like, it ain't even for any of us to speak of what went over somebody's head. Our job is to drop seeds and to water. That's it. If a brother gets it, he gets it. He might get it later. You know what I'm saying? Everybody don't get everything at the exact moment in time. You know what I'm saying? And we're not here to judge whether they get it or not. So we just drop the seed, we water, and we keep it moving. You know what I'm saying? And you know what I'm saying? Let the jewel fall on whose earth is gonna fall upon. Hey, you brothers have a good night, man.
Likewise, brother.
I appreciate that, and I actually have a lot to say, man. I have a lot to say about this, but the show was about y'all, so I kept my mouth shut, man. I'm gonna tell you guys a story that happened Friday night. For those of you who don't know, we as a family go out on Friday just to recalibrate, whether it's hamburgers, whether it's 5-star dining, 3-star dining, half-star dining, whatever the case may be. The reason why I do that is sometimes we get caught up during the weekend. You know what I mean? It's one of the few times where we get to look each other in the eye. Although Dre's schedule allows us to do it more often now. Actually, she's always had a great schedule in terms of family. But it's just something that I really, really wanted to instill. So we're pulling up to a restaurant, and Dre is getting the kids out, and the kids are on the sidewalk, but this lady has no regard for speed, and she's parking in an illegal parking lot, in an illegal parking slot. It's a fire hydrant or whatever, and she just pulls in like 25 miles an hour and then hits the brakes, and then her response was, "I'm trying to park here." And Dre said something, and it took all of God in me. It really took all of God in me not to spit in that woman's face. It really did. I swear before God.
Damn.
And the reason why is because my kids and Dre is Lincoln and Kennedy and Dre are in a vulnerable spot, right?
Right.
And because she was literally going, like she literally just hit the brakes. You get what I'm saying? And when I thought that, and then I immediately thought big picture. I didn't care about the law. I didn't care about nothing. All I thought about was, that's this big. That shit is in the big picture because nothing happened. Shit was this big because I let the family out to go park to get out because we made reservations because I don't like my family walking through a parking lot. You get what I'm saying? So I let them out and I went parked the car in the parking structure. And the big picture was, say it again, please.
And that's good practice.
Yeah. So the big picture was we were going to spend $500 on dinner and we were going to have a great time, yada, yada, yada. That was the goal. She wasn't a part of nothing we had. You know what I mean? And it was not one mention of her at dinner. And the reason why was because I didn't post it, but we always do a toast. We always do a Team Hawthorne toast. Every time we go out, we pray together, we toast together, we do most things together. And it was about the toast. It was about Team Hawthorne. And Fred, where are you going with this? We're tribal. The Hawthorns are tribal. Nothing's breaking that, y'all. Nothing will break Dre. Nothing can break Dre. I don't give a fuck what you do. You can come with $1 gazillion. Nothing's breaking her, and nothing's breaking me. I'm raising Lincoln and Kennedy one day. I don't know where they at, but one day I want them to inherit Team Hawthorne. And the Hawthorns believe in nepotism. Black people got to believe in nepotism. And guess what? Jewish people believe in nepotism. We don't. Oh, your daddy gave you that job. Your mom and dad is supposed to. And that's where we must be. You understand what I'm saying? And I think that from my perspective, it summarizes where Kyrie Irving is. He doesn't need to play another game in his life. Go do what you want to do with your last name. Build your last name up. You know what I mean? In the Ballad of the Bullet, Malcolm X says Woolworth didn't start with being a national brand. It started with 1 or 2 stores, and it blossoms into what Woolworth became. I believe they're out of business now, but until what it became. We got to make these sacrifices. We got to sacrifice making 150,000 versus making 75. Maybe the goal is to make 75,000 to build infrastructure in your house. Maybe your woman has to work. Maybe the son has to work at 16 to get to where you need to be. You understand what I'm saying? So I think that's the think of your, see the whole picture. You understand what I'm saying? And I think like once we see the whole picture, we will become unnecessary to them, because I expect people to go against me. I expect them to. I'm not even mad, especially now. I mean, I'm emotional about a situation, but when I come home and or when I'm able to think rationally, I'm like, yeah, they're supposed to do that. 100%. And I believe all of us need to be that way. And it starts with our home. It starts with our dinner table. I don't expect a Jew to give me a job. I don't expect a Mexican to give me a job. I really, really don't. I see how on, I have a property on Western, and I see how I have one black person living in it, and the whole complex is all Latino. And the first thing I told her is, I said, you can't call me and complain about them. The reason why is they have established a community there, and she's going to be an outsider in the beginning, and naturally time, there's some conformity there because of time. But the reality is, every Friday night they playing their Latino music, they drinking their Coronas, they put a couch outside, they're having a good time, they doing what they do, whatever. And I explained that to her, and that's just the reality of the world we live in. You are that one black house, and you got to make a decision. Are you going to rent there, or are you going to go buy your own? We're renting. Where NBA players are employees. And I think that's the big picture. Football players are employees. They're not the owners. And even if LeBron James buys an NBA team, he's one of 32, one of 34, whatever. I don't know how many teams there are. I believe that it's on us. And the reason why we don't have reparations is because our grandparents marched. Our grandparents turned the other cheek. Our grandparents sat in. Our grandparents integrated the Negro League to the Major League Baseball. Our grandparents integrated the ABA to the NBA. It's simple. It's they convince us the same way they did with slavery, with forget the name of that door, the door of no return. They convinced us. And they still convince us to this day. We know the solution, but we got to do the work. We think it's criminal for us to make $50,000 on our own as opposed to making $100,000. It's I just, because and the reason why I have no empathy for people who don't make sacrifices, not black, white, just people, because I made the sacrifices. And I tell you guys all the time, never drank, never smoked. I work out 300 days a year. I'm 45. So now I know, in order for me on Lincoln's 18th birthday, in order for me to be in the backyard with him, Frederick got to do certain things. That's why I have all these basketball coaches, these stretch coaches, because I know I have to get it now. If I wait till I'm 65, it may be too late.
I don't have it.
Yeah, you get what I'm saying? That I'm gonna have a little extra 7 pounds on me, 8 pounds on me. It's not gonna be the same. So we got to do the work. And I can honestly say, I've been doing the work. Honestly, God I swear before Jesus Christ, since 2000, 99, 2000, I said, I'm going to do the work. And I've done the work for the past 22 years. And it went in overdrive in 2007 when I got laid off. And I never looked back. I've never borrowed money. From a bank, but I've never borrowed money from a human being. Not that you can or can't. I'm just saying that this is just my. Dre was in med school. I had a $900. I had a $910. What do you call that bill? Car bill. I had a 745i BMW, and I had $914 there. $1,200 for rent. Dre's bills fluctuated because I had to put gas in her car. I had to pay the base of her medical schools and all that. And I don't know how it happened, but I did the work and I made the sacrifices. And 22 years later, I look back and I can say it worked. That's why Dre and I have omnipotent trust. You understand? And Dre never drank, never smoked. Now she's a social drinker. Now she drinks wine. But these are the sacrifices that we made. Dre works out 300 days a year. You know, I work out 300 days a year. And naturally problems occur. But when you could lean on that fortified foundation, I think that compound interest every day and every moments of our lives have created what we have now. And that way it's going to allow our kids for it to be twice easier as opposed to twice as hard. You know, Black people got to work twice as hard. Lincoln and Kennedy will never have to work twice as hard. Never, ever in their life. It's impossible because we've done the work, and Lincoln's and Kennedy's kids will have to be twice as easier. And I think we got to make these sacrifices. We got to be concentrated on the sacrifice and the commitment. We got to make generational decisions, you know, the onus is on us at the end of the day. Racism and all that. And y'all get mad. I remember during COVID, y'all would yell at me and y'all would call me an entitled, a Republican, and this. On a daily basis, I don't get racism in my life. Like y'all thought that I don't. Matter of fact, some days I barely talk to 5 people. I'm being honest. Like some days I don't even leave the house. I'm working from a computer. And I think when you have that confidence and that structure, when you have that structure, I genuinely believe that it can't be touched. You understand? Like you look at LeBron, he's a billionaire and he's still searching. Shaq, a billionaire, still searching. Barkley, still searching. Man, be happy with your $100 million, your $50,000. When you got that freedom, dog, like I mean, I genuinely believe that's the way. I genuinely believe that's the way. And I'll share with you, and I'll close on this, and then feel free, L. Dre and I have a philosophy, right? Dre hits the singles and doubles. I hit the home runs. It's my job to make $1 million. I'm fortunate enough that Dre is a doctor. However, Fred hits the home runs. You know, Fred takes the risk and turns $100,000 into $1 million. That's my responsibilities, you know, and we haven't looked back since 2007, you know, and it's actually worked. And I hope and pray that everyone has a family, like a man, like I hope and pray that everyone listening to me, every man that's listening to me, is able to fortify their family. Like I really hope and pray, financially, spiritually, emotionally, religiously, and so on and so forth, because that's the key to my home. It's not It's not the money. It's the integrity within this house. It's the character within this house. It's the by any means necessary. You know, there was a time in our relationship where Dre made more money than me, right? And then it doesn't matter at this point, but there was a transition where I naturally make more money now because I do stocks and the properties now. She has a job. But the point I want to make is drop the egos. Drop the egos, man. I never had an ego when Dre in 2007. I don't know when Dre started her 2008, 2009. I would say Dre made more money than me, right? Without a shadow of a doubt, because she walks into her job making $300,000 a year. So she made more money than me. And I kept working, I kept plugging, I kept training, I kept learning stocks, I kept doing this, and I bought the first property, and then that and that's just the reality of this thing, man. And see the big picture, man. I'm just thankful that my life partner came to me in 1997. I met Dre, and I didn't blow it. I bullshitted a lot. I made a lot of mistakes, but it all started with family. It all started with a partner, you know, and fortify your family. I'm telling you, create tribalism in your house, at your dinner table. And that will, trust me, it inspires your family. It inspires your friends. And I'll close on that, but just fortify your family. I don't make nothing off of YouTube. Basically, I make $300 a month off of YouTube, probably. But go ahead, Al.
Great monologue, Fred. Very encouraging, man. Very inspiring, brother. And I salute you on all that. And I know that the things that you speak upon, I can vouch for that in your character because I know you personally. And a lot of things you said was true about the subject matter that you were speaking upon. And I'm gonna go back to what the brother Big O, I believe that's his name. He spoke upon a lot of things that I wanted to touch on about how a lot of times, man, we throw away the value that we can present to one another because of a disagreement. And a lot of times the disagreement is not fully understood. Like, upon initially hearing something we don't agree with, we just totally throw the whole person away. And it's like, man, let the brother talk. Let this person talk. See it through. Like, you got to understand that everybody have a perspective. Just because your perspective is not, you may not feel like their perspective is in line with your perspective, but it may be some benefit to it. Like, give an example. A lot of people attack Jerry. I can say this. I don't think I got the gift of being able to read character. I know I got the gift of being able to read people's character. That's a God-given ability that I have. And with that divine gift, I know for a fact Jerry is far more beneficial than he could ever be detrimental. And he can only be detrimental if we allow that. If that individual allows a person thinking or they position on a certain matter, cause it to be detrimental for them. But I also understand his deficiencies because, much like myself, I have deficiencies. And it's not a bad thing. Like, he's a white man. And I can tell you like this. He's a white man that does genuinely care about black people. And he's one of those white people that feel like this. Man, I'm tired of the bullshit. I want to just progress as human beings. Of course, his understanding is not like our understanding because, shit, we the victims. We've been the victims. He hasn't been a victim of our oppression and suppression. So he's not supposed to feel it like how we feel about it. But based on everything that he's given us on the panel, I can see he's genuine. So for those people that feel like, oh man, he's speaking down. I don't agree with everything what Jerry say, but I know he's genuine though, man. Like we do this a lot. It's the same thing that happened with Michael Brother Fuller. People try to attack him because they felt like, oh man, you bragging, you this and you that. And I'm like, man, how much benefit has Mike brought to the show? How much stuff as people can really say that they learned? Far more than whatever disagreement you have, because it's very minuscule. Like it's really not, it's not moving the meter much. It's just playing on your emotional immaturity. You know, we have to be emotionally mature enough to know that, man, there are major differences that are set out within each race, each group of people in this world based on race, religion, belief, whatever the case, man. But as much as I'm pro-black, man, I'm pro-human first, because I understand across the line of every group of human beings, every race of people, that we all identify as human beings, and there's good people within every specific race. And more than I'll be for, causing divisive mechanisms within the human race, I want to find reasons that will unify us. Of course, I have my biases. Of course, I have my prejudices to my people, because these are the people I grew up around. I grew up around black people. I want to see black people win. But does that mean I want to see other people fail? Hell no. But I want us to win though. But I'm also not gonna inherit the hate that was given to me. I despise that, because that hate does no good for a person. Hate only breeds hate. Hate breeds more hate. That's the only thing it can breed. And I'm gonna say this: we all got pride. We all men. But like I tell my mother all the time, I had to learn as a child to allow my love to be stronger than my pride. I'm gonna say that one more time. You gotta allow your love to be stronger than your pride, because that pride it's gonna fail you every time. It's gonna put you in a bad position. It's very hard to do, because our bad experiences in life, it holds such great emotional equity within us. And these are things that we just not so quick to just give up. But again, like I said before, man, the pain gonna stay with you as long as you don't want to heed the lesson that it's trying to teach you. Once you learn the lesson, the pain you got, it's gonna dissipate. It's gonna get, because it taught you your lesson. The pain gonna leave when it teaches you your lesson. But as long as you harboring that pain, and as long as you harboring the resistance to change, it's going to stay with you, and you're going to rot as a person, and you're not going to be able to shine light upon anybody's situation. You're not going to be able to help nobody. You're going to continue to be a detriment to yourself and others. But to not go on, I'm going to end here. I'm going to say this: I appreciate everybody that come on this panel and speak. Yourself as well, Fred. I always learn something. And in moments like these, I find reason to have hope in humanity, man, because it's easy to lose hope. And I've lost a great deal of hope in humanity. But I understand that if God hasn't given up on humanity, I shouldn't either. So there's things that it's a reflection of my flaws and things I need to work on. And as much as we have individual ideas to bring about changes that can better us as a people, the ultimate power and the ultimate authority is in the true God Jehovah's hand. It's not in ours. It's not my job. I can barely direct the Bible says I can't direct my own steps, let alone somebody else's. I could just do my job, find my purpose, and ask God to just give me direction and strength to do that. But as far as trying to change the lot of man, hey man, it's beyond human intervention, man. God got to change this, man. His purpose has to be fulfilled on earth as it is in heaven. So I'm gonna tell everybody like this, man. I'm waiting on God to fix this situation. I can provide my opinion. I can provide my intellect. my genius, whatever. We all can, but we limited, man. We limited by this thing called sin and death. So without further ado, man, I appreciate the opportunity to speak, man. I hope I was able to touch somebody because a lot of y'all brothers touched me, man, and I appreciate the interchange. It's always good, man. But you have a good night, Fred. Love you, brother.
Appreciate
Always
you, dog.
appreciate you, man.
Thank you, dog.
Y'all take care.
Thanks, Al. Drive safe, dog. Delonte, you and Aunt Fresh still going at it. LOL, that Aunt Fresh, man. I just want to because we talk about. I'm glad you brought up the money issue because I tell you guys all the time. I was making $100,000 on this channel. I'll show you guys how much money I make because I don't monetize my my main channel. The reason being is because I want you guys to come in here and say what you want. And that's probably costing me shit. I would say it's costing me $2,000 to $3,000 a month. I probably because my low months when my channel was monetized is probably like $2,000, $2,000 or $3,000 a month. But now my backup channel is the only channel that's monetized. That's why you guys don't see commercials on my main channel. But I'll show because I really want to hit home about the sacrifice. And when you stand up for truth, and I'm losing $3,000 a month, so you guys can come in here and say what you want to say. I just want you guys to know that. All right. And that's a sacrifice that I'm making because I can gladly just turn the monetization on. I have no strikes or nothing on my channel. But here, I want you guys to see how much money I made from September. Look at this. I made $300. I ain't lying to y'all. Look, I made $300. $300. $313.39. And I have $1 million in a black bank, One United, and I have $1 million in Cathay Bank, which is an Asian bank. So I'm true to what I tell you guys I am. You know what I mean? No, I don't want to monetize it because I like the conversations. I really like the monetize. I'll make the money back in stocks. You know what I mean? I'm not concerned about it. I believe I can make $3,000 a month with my brain. You know, extra $3,000. Maybe that's trust or whatever, but I like so I make about $300 a month on doing this show every night. How much is that a show? If I do 20 shows into $300, I'm getting paid $15 a show. That's how much money I'm making. $15 a show. And if you put in hours, 15 hours a week, 15, 30. So 60 hours a month, 60, 120, 180, 240. I'm making $5 an hour. I'm making $5 an hour. So I'm making $5 an hour and $15 a show. And so that's the reality of this thing. But the point I want to make is this as it pertains to that. So I'm glad you brought that up. I know you in here hating, but I'm glad that you brought this up because it substantiates my point. The reason why I don't monetize my channel is to give you guys a voice. Is so you can come in here and say how you feel. No other YouTube channel is going to do what I'm doing. I'm just telling you that right now. And I don't really care to compete with them. But they're not going to sacrifice their money for y'all voice. Remember, I bought Deontay Wilder. I invited Deontay Wilder in here just so y'all can talk to him. And 10 or 15 people had a chance to talk to the channel for the first time in their life. I've never seen a channel do that. You got to pay subscription fees. You got to join the Patreon. You got to Cash App. You got to join the YouTube team. And then this channel was making $100,000 a year. Do y'all listen to me? This channel was making $100,000 a year in 2018, 2019. It was $7,000 a month, $8,000 a month. What does that equal? You understand what I'm saying? And all I had to do was apologize. All I had to do was apologize to the white boy at Top Rank. All I had to do was apologize to, he told me, he called me, said, apologize. I said, no, I'm not apologizing to you. I'm not doing it. What's the name? Ryan Coon. What's his name? Evan Korn. Kelly Swanson. Apologize to Kelly Swanson. That's all I had to do. All I had to do. And I'm not counting people's pockets. I want them to make as much money as they want to make. I don't care. But I didn't apologize. I didn't apologize to them because I knew I was right. I could have shut my mouth and that's it. You understand what I'm saying? I could have shut my mouth and I chose not to. You know what I mean? So, and it works out, you know. A few times this year, I made $1 million in a month. So it worked out, you know what I mean? And stocks has been really good. COVID was really good to me. You know what I mean? Just keep on chugging away. And, but the point I want to make is this, is everyone talks about sacrifice. Everyone talks about what they should do. No one is willing to do the work. We got to do the work, and it starts with your home, you know, and I can go on and on and on again, but challenge yourself before you challenge a YouTube creator. You understand? Challenge your challenge yourself. You know what I mean? And that's the reality of it, man. You know what I mean? And I love the space that this channel was in, where you can come in here and say what the fuck you want. You can call someone racist. You can call someone you love them. I'm comfortable with it. You get what I'm saying? Like, and that's it, man. And I believe I've made that sacrifice. So I'm unapologetic, and no other YouTube content creator would do what I did. You know, so y'all can say what you want. No one would do it. You know what I mean? So, and it's no shame to them, because capitalism, you don't got to pay. You got to pay your bills. You know what I mean? That's it. You know, so that's it. So anyways, man, y'all have if you want, I mean, shit, I'm capping. So why you want to know? It's all cap, man. It's all cap, man. Oh, man. So anyways, man, I appreciate y'all coming through, man. Good show, man. We started the week off with a bang, man. And I wonder what Monday's gonna bring. And I didn't even realize time went back last night. I didn't even know, dog. I appreciate you, Boom. I just found out right now on Instagram time went back today. Oh, man, I got an extra hour of sleep and didn't even know it. That's why I got up and went straight to practice, man. You know what I mean? Because I got up today and I went and charged the car, and I was like, damn, I feel good. But it's because I got an extra hour of sleep. That's what it was, man. I got an extra hour, dog. That extra hour helped me, man, because I ain't gonna lie to y'all, man. My hip flexors be killing me, dog. You know what I mean? Oh, man. My hip flexors be killing me, dog. I can't even lie to y'all. My hip flexors be killing me. You know, I'm 45 and I'm training with Lincoln, and got all these trainers and shit. Got a boxing coach, 2 basketball trainers, a stretch coach. And I can hang with Lincoln now, but I know in 10 years, I'm going to need what I'm doing. You know what I mean? So I'm trying to get a 10-year head start. So that's where I'm at, you know, so yeah, we doing it together, man. Lincoln's my best friend, man. Lincoln's become my best friend, man. I looked at my Instagram stories. I'm like, where's Kennedy? I'm like, Kennedy ain't make the stories this weekend, man. What the hell's up with that? You know, Lincoln and I spent the whole weekend together, basically, man, playing basketball, man. And yeah, man, he loves that game now. I'm glad it's basketball and not football because it's something that we can do. You know, football, you can't really. I mean, you can run routes and play catch, but I think basketball, you can just, you know what I mean? So, but yeah, man. So yeah, man, free speech platform, y'all. Free speech platform for everybody. Come in here and say, fuck Fred. Fred's a coon. I love Fred. You know what I mean? Deacon's a racist. Jerry's a racist. You know, I love Deacon. I love Jerry. I love L. Y'all can do whatever y'all want here. It's y'all platform. I'll see y'all tomorrow, man. Thank you, guys.